tow you and collect the fee. 60-40. When you're in the back, when you're finished with your match, please remember to be quiet and seated. It's so easy to get distracted, as we all know, by someone just walking past the opening. The four competitors that are facing the back, it's very easy if you're just walking by, you think, well, I'm in the back room, I'm quiet, my shoes aren't squeaking, I'm just going to walk over here and grab something. That can distract the four competitors that are facing that way. So please take a seat, whether you're in the back or in here. I'd like to have a round of applause for all the volunteers who are spending their
split that up in two sections, like we've done in the past 2 years, for the past year. So what we'll do is, everybody who's seated will stay here. We'll take the other 8 competitors into a back room. I think we'll follow Mary. And Beth, are you going to, or is just, okay. They'll be there to monitor you. What are we doing with phones?
No phones, no electronics.
Should we put them in a basket, or? Okay. So no devices. Mary will have a computer open once the surprise event is done, where you can see at least the scores of the matches that come afterwards, so you can stay in the loop. But we obviously don't want you to know what the surprise event is, so no streaming.
And avoid talking about it.
Avoid talking about, well, they won't know anything
These
about
two people that,
Yeah. The point is try to keep it as fair as possible so that the second group have no idea, just like the first group will have no idea. So following that, then, after the round of 16 is done, we'll go into the quarterfinals, and then we'll have lunch, and then we'll go into the semifinals, and then tomorrow will be the runner-up match starting at 9, and then we'll have the finals match. And tomorrow, just a heads up, in the past, the surprise event for the runner-up match was the same as the one for the first finals. We're not doing that this year. They'll be separate, so we can just watch. And, the third place match will just have its own surprise event.
Can you give an overview of the brackets and times and people watching?
Yeah. And then how these matches work. So every match is best of 7. So first of 4 points. Every match will start with one of these surprise events, and we'll all do the same one in that round at the same time. I'll announce it, and the details will come, and we'll do it. And whoever wins that at their table will get that first point. From then on, the loser of that match gets to choose of the 5 events what they want to do next. So we'll go around the room asking who, what they want to do. And from now on, it goes back and forth. You can't choose any of the last 2 events that were done. That's kind of the rule. So let's say CC wins the surprise event. Everett gets to choose the second point. He says cards. And then it's CC's turn. She chooses names. Everett's turn. He can't choose cards or names. He's got to choose one of the other 3. So he can't choose the past 2 ones. Is that clear? Yeah.
We'll keep track.
Yeah, we'll keep track.
So you don't have to worry. In the event of a tie, describing the tie.
Yeah, in the event of a tie, well, we'll discuss for each surprise event what the tie issues are. It will be very unlikely that there'll be a tie, but in the event that there is a tie, which we really don't think will happen, we're just going to pull a card. High card gets to go. I think that's the easiest way.
To choose the next.
I mean, if you do it exactly the same time, then I think you guys are equal, so it's just, we'll do it by chance. Okay, so we'll give that to Mary. So the people that will be going with Mary for the next hour or so is Alex Mullen, Senge, Pirjov, Boris, Johannes, Ninja, Marwin, and Christian. So the 8 of you, if you guys could get in the back there, and once you're within distance, we'll get started over here.
Hey Barry, will you maybe send me a text when you're set to go? Yep.
The computer.
Should I keep this on? We are on. This is Extreme Memory Tournament Day 2.
Exactly. Welcome back, everyone. This is the hottest, coolest, most amazing, fastest, craziest memory championship in the world. Today with Max Berkowitz.
And Florian Dele.
That's very good. Exactly. Actually, here on my name that you see here in the lower third,
It's wrong.
there is a French little
What
thing
is
that they
this?
call an.
Max B now?
Yeah, it's a Max B.
I kind of like it.
There's no room for it. You see the big
Max B.
banner there, the big banner you see on the bottom there. That's the Extreme Memory Challenge. We mentioned that yesterday once or twice. This is what our sponsor Dart Neuroscience put up. It's the biggest memory test in the world.
We'll actually do a
Please
demo practice before
check
we
it
do
out. Go there.
Just so everything's
and
absolutely
test
clear,
your own
I want
memory.
everybody to
You will get-
have a fair shot at this and understand what they have to do before they do it. Is that good?
So if there's any language issues, make sure you tell us.
Yeah, so if
Raise
you
your
don't
hand.
understand me, tell me, and we'll figure it out, okay?
Once the surprise is revealed, it's hard to stop and go back and stuff.
Let me just wait for Mary to text me and let me know that everybody's in the back there.
Before the prep time. Nick, we're good for streaming?
So the doors are not closed? Good point, yeah.
Can we get a?
Okay, so they're ready over there, so we can start this. We're all good back there? Okay, so part of this, yeah. So you guys can flip over the sheets you have there. Oh.
It's the same thing you have in front of you.
So these are the basic rules. I'll be revealing more rules past this sheet, but I first want you to understand this first section before we continue. So I will be explaining this in 3 parts. So this is a new kind of surprise event where your recall time will be timed. So the max time allowed for this event will be 5 minutes. You can stop your recall timer by clicking the finish button before the 5 minutes are up if you choose. So the recall will look similar to what you've been doing in all the events for recall. The person who recalls the most items wins. If both competitors recall the same number of items, the person with the fastest recall time wins. Scoring is 1 point for correct, no penalty for a mistake. So very similar to what you're used to, just we're timing the recall. So does everyone understand that?
Recall is time.
Yeah?
CC?
Actually, not quite. Those are really the same rules for everything else. This is the recall time that's being tested.
Yeah, there is no
How do you describe
memorization.
all these other
Yeah.
Yes, except.
Well, we'll get to that. I just want to make sure everybody understands that part. I'll give you more details. We're not going to start, don't worry.
But it's recall time. How quickly you recall.
Recall data, then the better time wins.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Recall, not memo, recall.
Okay, so if everyone understands that, I'd like you to please press the ready button. We're not going to start, don't worry. I'll give you ample time to start.
I do not really understand it. So if I now press my recall timer after 1 second and I have one item, then I win.
Well, because someone might get 2 items.
Two items in 5 minutes.
Count the items.
Yes, yeah.
Score.
2 items in 5 minutes is better than 1 item in 1 second. Does that make sense? 10 items in 5 minutes is better than.
What should now keep us from using the full 5 minutes? Because there is enough that.
The recall time is the tiebreak if you have the same score. So if you both recall everything perfectly, then the recall time.
Okay, so the idea is not that we will have too much data and stuff like this.
Yeah. I think it'll make more sense when I reveal what the data is.
So if someone if 2 people recall 20 things, and one recalls 20 things in 1 minute, and one recalls 20 things in 2 minutes, the person who recalls 20 faster wins.
Yep.
Do I see when the other person presses the finish button, or I don't see it?
No.
No. Say
Question.
that about.
Yeah, so that was your question too? Yeah, so the screen won't turn blue if the person finishes.
It will turn blue.
It won't, yeah. And I believe you just have to press finished. There is no right arrow or anything. Just click the finish button.
Finish, yeah.
Is it, are the recall and memorization time from the same block of time, so you have to decide?
Just wait 1 second, you'll understand that in a moment. So just everybody press ready, that they understand at least what we've talked about now. The ready button.
So as far as I understand, it's simply recall like every other discipline, and there is no penalty for wrong things, and we go get to the next time.
Okay, so this is the next part, the next reveal. So yesterday, everyone memorized cards, images, words, names, and numbers in several matches, right? You each had 3 matches of each of those 5 events, correct? Your task will be to recall something you memorized yesterday. It will be one of these 5 categories. So something you memorized yesterday. Everybody might have something different, right? So no memorization, it's only the recall, right? So you won't see the information again.
What does that mean? So you tell me, I don't know, my match against Christian word, and I have to recall those words.
So hold on. So, like I said, you had 3 matches in each of those 5 events. So let's call either you had the first match, a middle match, and a third match, right? So we will tell you, it's one of those 3. I'm going to let you know which one that is in a moment, okay?
Please don't look at, if you have your own computer, please don't look at previous matches or previous journeys or anything that you may have.
Okay, so the thing you will be asked to recall is your last match, okay, of one of those 5 disciplines.
Explain that more.
So that'll be not necessarily your last match of the day, just the last match in that discipline, okay? So you had cards, your last cards match. Or you had numbers, your last numbers match. Your words, last words, images, last images, and names, last names. That's okay. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to give you a 10-second countdown, and then we're going to start. So I know this is uncomfortable. This is not how we do it, but this is part of the recall. It's figuring out how quickly you can access that information if you can, and then filling it in as you go.
Remember, recall time is what we're timing here.
So, but if you now say images, then we will get the images of that match and have all of them. So we don't
Exactly.
write it down.
Yeah. If that's the event, yeah. So I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna do this right now, and make sure you understand everything before we start, but I'll say, we have a 10-second countdown, it will show up on their screen, right? We'll say go, and then on their screen there'll be a 10-second countdown, and that is, I'll say exactly what it is as we start that 10-second countdown.
And obviously, when it comes on the screen, you know, if it's names, there'll be pictures, you know.
Yeah, it's clear by the recall
Yeah.
what you're recalling.
And everyone gets the same discipline.
Yes, right.
But each person's final match of that discipline.
So your set might be different from Katie's because you played someone else or whatever. So all I need to say now is which of the 5 disciplines it is, right? We all understand that it's the last one that you did of the day, correct?
Cece, you understand? Everett, you understand? Lance? Marlo?
Correct.
Okay.
You're not going to tell us what our last match was. That's we have to remember.
Yeah.
Which one it was as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember either.
Simone, you understand the rules? Jan Hendrik? Johannes? And Katie?
Okay.
So audience, please take your seat.
So we're gonna start, so everybody's ready. As soon as I say we're starting, 3, 2, 1, go, there's gonna be a 10-second countdown, and then the recall will begin, and I will announce I'm gonna announce what it is, and then the 10 seconds will go.
So silence from the audience, please.
So then
Don't
we just
communicate.
click finish on the screen.
When you're done with your recall.
There's a finish button, that's how you, so you're only 20 seconds or so away from starting, so do whatever you need to do with headsets or earplugs or hats,
Yeah.
because you only have 10 seconds before you start now.
Okay. So the event that you will be recalling, the last one of this match of yesterday, will be numbers.
Quiet, please. Don't talk to your competitor, please.
Shout. Like, hello. Hello and welcome back.
We are back. We were cut off a little bit there because there was an announcement earlier in the room for the first event of the day.
We're pretty surprised at the event ourselves, so
Yeah.
we're waiting on the information.
Honestly, we have no idea what's
Yeah,
going on.
so-
We're just listening in the room, and we heard something about fast recall, which is awesome. Yes, I already said to Max, sadly, Ben has already been eliminated because, in my opinion, he's like the fastest recaller of all of them.
But you said you're the fastest of forgetting everything.
Yeah, well, why do you mention? No, it's true. I mean, in memory, we want to reuse our memory palaces, and after you recalled a deck of cards or numbers or whatever, you don't need that information anymore. So, what you can do on purpose is you can tell yourself, this information is relevant to me, and for some reason there's a psychological effect that your brain then somehow understands that and handles this as it is irrelevant, and then it fades out a little bit quicker. And also another thing that you can do is you just don't trigger the information anymore. So you don't go back to your memory palace, you don't look at the table and ask yourself what was at the table. And then the information will not pop up, and if it's not popping up, it will not being strengthened.
So it looks like right now it's a numbers event.
Yeah, so the octofinals have already started. What we see here is the first surprise event of the day. On the screen we see Marlo versus Lance, and they
Everett
didn't really
versus
memorize
CC.
anything. Did you see them memorize anything? I think
No.
they're just supposed to recall what they did in that particular discipline in the last.
This
So
is
this one,
nuts.
this is numbers. So they need to recall what they did yesterday in
This
the
is
last
way too
digits.
extreme. This
Yeah,
is too extreme.
this is really
How
extreme.
can someone do this?
And such a surprise.
Yeah.
Right? So it's difficult, I think. It's super difficult to remember that. And it's also a little bit, I must say, it's a tiny bit mean. Because
It is mean. Thanks,
because
Nelson.
Maybe these guys didn't really properly memorize
No.
this last discipline yesterday.
But look at Katie.
But
look
I'm
at Jan Hendrik.
not sure if they remember.
Some people will remember a lot. Let's look at Katie at table 4 right now. She has 58, and she's got a lot of green on her screen. And same with Johannes at 51.
Jan Hendrik is really rocking it right now with
Yeah.
64.
Yeah. And Marlowe as well, 47, Old Man River. He's 48 years old. He's almost at the same score.
Right. So
Everett and Cece are struggling right now. But we'll see. There's 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in recall.
let's analyze what is actually going on in their minds right now.
Yeah.
So in memory sports, we have our memory systems. So we are doing numbers right now. All of these athletes, they have 2, 3, 4-digit images, encoding these numbers into images, and then they put these images on a memory palace. So far, so good. And then they have a lot of memory palaces, hundreds, thousands of so-called loci, which is Latin for location.
Yep.
Right?
I took Latin for 7 years.
Very good. Do you remember a lot of it?
No, my recall is pretty bad.
You need some memory training. Anyhow, the surprise event now is asking them, if we understood that correctly, because we just understood half of it, actually, they need to recall what they did yesterday in each of the 5 disciplines.
Yep.
In this particular one right now, the numbers discipline. So they have to go back to that memory palace that they used in the last event. So first of all, that's actually already, it can be tricky because they did so many matches yesterday. First of all, they need to remember which memory palace they used there. Otherwise, they have all this information from yesterday. Then they go there and then they need to remember these images. But they, as you have seen yesterday, they did so many events, 15 per person, hundreds of images.
Look at Marlowe.
Right. It looks pretty good. No mistakes so far there.
Lance is a little off.
And
A lot of
since
red.
they had so many images, it's easy to confuse all of that.
Yeah.
So now they're really trying to get in there.
Now
We
there's
see
25 seconds left.
Cece only got 2. So she is really struggling. The Everett only got 12. Lance only got 12. You see that's like everything is red there. It's
And now they're
really,
done.
That's really a tough one. I think that it's just the first round of the first round.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
you have to
surprise
best out of
event is
7.
much more than just this, what we just see here.
Yeah, it's best out of 7. They need to win 4.
No, wait, but what I'm referring to is this is not just the surprise event yet.
Yeah.
I think this is just part of the surprise event.
Yeah.
So as far as I understood that, they have to do all the 4 other events, all the 4 other disciplines as well now.
Well, it looks
and
like Jan
see what they
Hendrik-
remember from yesterday.
Looks like Jan Hendrik got the best score at 64.
And Johannes and Katie are on par with 58. That's...
But it looks like Johannes beat Katie with her recall, with his recall of
All right, so
272.17.
the recall speed was relevant
Yep.
there. So, oh my God, this is really...
And look at Everett. Everett beat Cece 300, but he got 14.
14 versus
and
4.
64,
So,
yeah.
Wow, that's
impressive to get any, like, just remember anything from yesterday.
right. I mean,
I thought Marlowe was incredible. Mostly all green.
technically, it's not that crazy if you just memorize a little bit.
For the regular
But,
person
yeah.
right now, it's pretty crazy.
For the regular person, everything we do here is crazy.
Yeah.
But then again, let us mention, everyone can do that. Everyone can learn that. You can get an incredible memory out there as well if you haven't done that before.
And you can learn by going to extremememorychallenge.com.
Actually, you
and testing
cannot.
your brain.
The Extreme
we'll
Memory
see. That-
Challenge
it's a study.
is just giving you an indication of where you are right now,
Yeah, well,
and
that's
then you
what-
can learn afterwards. So the Extreme Memory Challenge is the biggest memory test in the world, but it will not really help you to improve your memory.
Yeah.
It just gives you an indication where you are.
I just want to talk about Everett right now. He
Right.
won his first surprise event, and I just learned that he's homeschooled.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
You
homeschooled.
know, this is a really wonderful thing I love about the United States, that you have this possibility. In Germany, for example, it's against the law.
Really?
It's completely impossible to do that. The government takes control of your education. And although I don't want to educate that or advertise that everyone is doing homeschooling, but I think the possibility is a pretty nice one.
Especially with technology now.
Exactly.
Everything can come home with you.
Exactly. You're right.
Now we're on the images event. We still have CC, Everett, and then we have at table 2, Lance versus Marlowe Knight, table 3, Simon versus Jan Hendrik, and table 4, Johanna Zhu versus Katie.
So, is this now already over, the surprise event?
This is over for now.
So
Yeah.
that they only had to do numbers, not the other.
Yeah.
disciplines. All right.
We might come back to another surprise event.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
there will be more surprise
Yeah.
events during the day.
Yep.
Many more. And I'm sure they will get harder every time. Although actually this was already pretty
Yeah,
tough.
that's pretty tough.
But all the surprise events are always like, oh my God, what do you do there? Because you're not prepared for this.
Now on my screen it says we're doing images, but yep, okay, perfect. We're doing
Well,
images.
if the surprise event is now really over and this is it, then that means that the winners, who are Everett, Marlo, Jan-Hendrik, and Johannes, they can now choose the event of their choice.
Yep.
This is why we'll now see all these different events for our athletes. So CC and Everett are doing images. Obviously, since it was Everett's choice, he's very confident about this event and he will try
see
to
how he
go for a
does.
very fast time. Lance and Marlo are doing words. Simon and Jan-Hendrik are doing cards. By the way, Jan-Hendrik beating Simon, that's also interesting thing.
But Simon's pretty good at cards.
The first XMT winner. And Jan-Hendrik tries to challenge him in his specialty, but on the other hand, Simon doesn't really have a specialty. He's good at everything.
But is Jan Hendrik kind of poking at him because he just picked cards? Because
Simon's
pretty damn good at cards.
He probably thinks that names and words are something that Simon will outsmart him more easily than cards, although he was the cards world record holder up until Alex took it away from him recently.
Alex really took it away with 16.83.
And Johannes and Katie did names, also kind of cocky from Johannes, challenging Katie in her new world record discipline.
And look at Katie, what she just did in 58.89 seconds. Let's watch out for that. And Johannes did in 60 seconds. That's a big advantage for her.
Right, so yeah, that's now a lot of strategy involved. So we see Simon and Jan-Hendrik here. Simon was taking it kind of safe with 38 seconds, and Jan-Hendrik took the entire time. I think it was a strategy.
Taking it safe.
Yeah, it was a strategy from the beginning,
Yeah.
I guess. If he was smart there, and I'm sure he was just hoping that Simon would do too much or just counting on a mistake there. It's unlikely, though. This time that Simon did there, this is a very safe, easy time for him. It must have felt like sleepwalking through the room, like while he memorizing cards. He can do twice as fast.
And going back to table 1, it looks like they both are doing very well in images. There are no red, it's all green. But Cece did in 43.55 seconds. So she has the
Right.
advantage there.
We have Louis Angel here. Come on, Louis. Do you want to join us?
For a quick minute.
Right. You have.
Just a quick minute.
You were in the room when the surprise event went
Yeah, I was
on.
in there.
Can you
so-
just give us a quick
Overview.
overview because we didn't hear everything.
Okay, so first of all, everybody was totally surprised and shocked
We
that
were.
this was happening because we've never had that before, where you take information, and we were just talking about it yesterday, right? Can these memory athletes remember information, a day later, 2 days later, a week later? And we just saw the results of that.
Some of them
Some of them can really do well with that, with long-term memory recall, and some, they just either forget it because they don't care about that information anymore, or they just have a harder time to recall it, to retrieve that information.
This is very important. That it shows like if you can really remember things.
Exactly. Are we true memory athletes?
exactly.
But
And
on
not
the
just
other hand,
a trick?
the result that we saw here must be taken carefully, and you cannot just say because of this result we cannot say this and that.
No.
Because what they did yesterday, all of them had 15 events. They had they memorized hundreds, maybe thousands of information
could have
depending on
been,
their systems.
If it was just say, here's a 80-digit number, that's all you're gonna do today. Tomorrow we're gonna test you on it. The results would have been much different.
Completely
right?
different.
Yeah.
That's completely. You didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
That's why it's great.
They
It's a
probably
surprise
didn't even
event.
remember what journey they used, what memory palettes they used for the last event because they used so many or.
How did Lance react to this?
I think he was one of the most shocked individuals in the room because he's like, wait, what's going on? But no, he got, I don't know if you guys saw like his ticker, but he got most of them correct, the ones that he put down.
Yeah.
It was just he was missing a 2. So that shifted everything over to the left. If he would have put in a 2, everything would have been shifted to the right, and he would have gotten most of those correct.
That's
and
great
I
to
think he
know.
would have beat Marlo. But Marlo did an amazing job with over 60 digits, I think it was, correct. So he has a really. What happened right here with Lance?
Right. So what are we
there was
looking
an
here
error
on the
maybe?
live stream? Lance left the table. Something happened there. I'm not
We
sure
don't
if that
see
was a
any
technical
cameras.
problem
No, I did-
or if Lance.
I did hear last year Lance, when he doesn't want to do something, he just leaves.
Well, maybe it was so shocking for him what happened with the surprise event that
Yeah.
now he has to gather
Yeah.
his energy again, and maybe he left the room to take a deep breath and
Because you can
and-
lose another one.
Did he?
It's best
did-
out of 7.
Did he win the first one?
No, I think he lost.
I mean the second one. I'm
I
sorry.
think he lost against Marlowe. Well, the second one now
The second one.
is not really over yet, and
This is.
as it looks like Marlowe has 10 lands.
Oh, this is the
won.
second one.
Is
Yep.
this still the surprise event now?
No.
This is already. We're moving on.
Yeah, they get to pick their own event.
So
and there's
why-
5
why-
seconds left in the recall. It looks like CC's taking home this event in images 28 to 26.
Although it was Everett's pick, so that's also
Mm-hmm.
interesting. We should always have take into consideration who picked the event and what will they actually take out of
Yeah.
it, because they all have this strategy
Because
now.
now the advantage goes to CC because now she's going to choose the next one.
And if we look at this, I mean, Simon against Jan Henrik. Jan Henrik picked cards, but he now lost against Simon. Same for CC versus Everett. Everett picked images, but he now lost against CC.
And then Katie versus Johannes.
Who was
This is
the-
her specialty.
who was
Did
the
she win her
winner?
second round?
She won the second
So
event.
she won 1 and 2 and 3, right? Or it's 1 and 1.
It's
It?
1
Right,
and
so
1.
Johannes was winning the surprise event, and
Okay.
he picked the event I just did, and he lost it against Katie. So 3 out of 4 already lost their first pick of
Oh,
disciplines.
here's Lance again.
Interesting.
Let's see what happened.
Yeah, some cards. I don't know why
Let's
he
zoom
has
in.
cards.
Let's zoom in. He's.
Yeah, we cannot hear the audio, the live stream.
I think that's good. We
the
can't
live
hear
stream
it.
spectators, they can hear what he is saying probably.
I think he's saying, "I love extreme memory tournament."
And take the Extreme
yeah,
Memory
I was
Challenge.
about to drop down to extremememorychallenge.com.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank
for a few
you.
moments,
Sure, all the
and
time.
it's
give us
awesome.
some information. Let's hear it. Tell us what's happening in there. Always come back. Okay.
Yeah, I will. I'll feed you guys some good
Especially about the surprise events, because we weren't provided with any information here.
stuff. Okay,
You're-
yeah.
you're
No, no, I
basically-
wasn't either, so I was surprised just as these guys and gals. In
But can you tell Nelson please to inform us for the next surprise event, because
like what
otherwise
it is?
Yeah.
We can't. They can't say anything.
they don't have to tell us beforehand, but at least give us a piece of paper when they are announcing.
Yeah,
it.
so that
Oh,
we can
when they're
actually
announcing
tell
it.
because,
people. Yeah.
because
Okay, I
everyone
see.
got a paper with information, I guess. Maybe not for
Oh,
this
that
one,
paper.
but for the others.
Well, now we're on
in the last 2
to
years we did that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see.
another round, and CC and Everett are choosing cards. Lance and Marlowe at table 2 are choosing cards. At table 3, it's Simon and Jan Hendrik choosing names. And at table 4, Johannes and Katie, and that's cards. So
Right.
3 cards events and 1 name.
So the pick of the disciplines are now going back and forth. The winner
Yep.
of the surprise event had the first pick. That was what we just saw in the second
Yep.
round. And now in the third round, we will actually, all these picks are from the loser of the surprise events. And this will now go back and forth for all seven rounds that we have in the octofinals.
Now I want to look at table 2. Let's stay on this one at Lance and Marlowe because this is big for Lance. He needs to win this event.
Right.
He's already down 2-0. So
Exactly, and he was the one who was going really crazy yesterday, who had the highest results of the
He
entire
did.
XMT team.
and here we go. Memorization starts in
So-
25 seconds.
At the moment, Lance is the clear favorite. At least that's how he started into the day. Right now, he is.
Can we zoom in?
Behind-
Is he wearing his slippers today? Maybe that could help.
Actually, we can see that he's only wearing socks. We didn't see that on the live stream. We were
No.
seeing that in our. We were seeing that
Wow.
in our stream here.
They're doing their memorization. Ready? In 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, here we go. Both of them using a double card system, and Lance is just rushing through these cards. Marlowe's taking it way slower, which is fine. It might give him an advantage if he counts on Lance making a mistake there. Lance seems to... He's already finished there in the original video stream. We can see that there on our website. It's still lagging behind.
23.41 seconds by
Yeah.
Lance.
So for everyone who's wondering why he was already finished there, we have a 10-second delay on the website on purpose so that nobody in the room can... And here are the zooming
Yes,
in.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
It
camera
looks like
team.
he's just wearing socks today.
Yeah, but that looks comfortable.
Yeah, he's a very comfortable outfit.
But he hasn't picked up on Jonas von Essen's style yet, who's wearing two colored wrinkled socks, two different socks. He's not doing that.
Well, he's covered in hair, so he's probably pretty warm too.
But actually, it's interesting because I have seen a couple of really good memory athletes now who are taking off their shoes for the events. Clemens Meyer did that, who was the world memory champion 2005, 2006, and Jonas van Essen did that, who was a 2 times world memory champion in...
It's a strategy.
What was it, 2013, 14,
Which
I think?
one? US memory?
Jonas van Essen from Sweden.
All right, here we go. And she's not using a newspaper today, just a paper. And Everett Chu,
Right, we are
the
seeing
youngest
CC
competitor,
Mm-hmm.
15 years old, just turned 15 2 days ago.
He just told me that he will come to our live stream as soon as he's being eliminated, and I told him, so you will not come at all then, no? Right? He has really good chances to...
He does, look at this.
To come forward with this.
He did in 34.06 seconds.
He's incredibly talented, and if he's a little bit in luck in terms of what the other opponents do in these events today, he might actually even get into the finals tomorrow.
Yeah.
It will be tough, but it's possible, and it will be a sensation for sure. So what are we doing here now? We are looking at Simon and Jan Hendrik, Germany against Germany. They are doing names.
Oh, look at table 2. Keep switching back and forth between Lance and Marlowe. But Lance did it in 23.41 seconds. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Lance already put in a mistake there, but he still has 2.5 minutes to correct it.
But Marlowe's perfect right
Marlowe's
now.
looking green for now, but that doesn't mean anything, and he's still...
I love this. Marlowe is on fire. If we could get the finals, Marlowe versus Everett, that'd be my favorite final.
Yeah, and also, I mean, what we saw yesterday, Marlowe was the last one to qualify for the finals. It was pretty intense between Anudari, Marlowe, and Melanie, and Marlowe really did it. And it was very important for him because last year he just dropped out as the last person to qualify for the finals, and now he just got in to the finals.
That's incredible.
At last.
And he just finished.
Moment. He just finished. Perfect score, 60 seconds. Not a great time, but it's a secure time.
Same with CC, 60 seconds as well.
Exactly.
Everett still has 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, so he
look
can
at
still win.
Simon and Jan Hendrik. They have both 60 seconds, and Simon has 25 names. Jan Hendrik has 24 names. So, that could actually get... although Simon had a little misspelling that he might correct.
Wait for it. Everett just won that round. Everett, table 1, 34.06 seconds. He wins again.
Fantastic. He is on fire there, but the event's not over yet. He might build in actually a mistake out of some rational analyzing that puts him on a wrong track. It wouldn't be the first time that happens. So Jan Hendrik just went even with Simon, typing in lazy everywhere, and I think did he hit the right lazy? I think he did, so he got this 1 point that was necessary for him. Maybe Simon finds this one Allison name there and corrects that. For whatever reason, Allison here is spelled with 3 L's without an I. Is that correct? You see that same thing here? So, he got it. He really found that there's a
30 seconds to go.
Triple L Ellison. Simon got the 26 now.
Simon told me his memory palace is very tame.
He recorrected it. He just got it right. Did you see that? He made it Triple L Ellison.
Oh, wait, no, but Jan Hendrik went back down.
No, what is going on there? Both of them lost a point. Jan Hendrik was even, then Simon got above, and then Simon got down again, and Jan Hendrik also got down. This is exactly what I said.
3,
People
2,
are starting to
1.
rationalize their decisions, and instead of listening to their intuition, they built in a mistake, which is a really interesting thing in memory because you should always listen to your intuition. Your intuition gives you a clue, then you start rationalizing, and then you don't remember actually what you remembered, and then you make mistakes.
Well,
that's
Simon's
exactly
very
what happened
lucky.
here.
Simon's a lucky man that he won that round.
Simon was extremely lucky, and Jan Hendrik was extremely unlucky because he was there, and that was, oh my God, that didn't really cost, that did cost him a valuable point here.
Now, with Simon, I was just saying that his memory palace is very tamed. That's what he says. It's not like the other ones where they use violence and sexual images.
Right.
He says it's more just, physical things, like building stuff, which I thought was very interesting.
Names, numbers, or words? Numbers? Names or numbers?
We're having actually the XMT t-shirt.
I don't need
here.
the lucky t-shirt today.
Right.
Look can't help me now. I'm already out of the competition.
So
You're just enjoying it now.
That's right. It's so much easier.
right, we're just
Here he
going
is.
crazy here with all these, with all this. What's happening? Simon against Jan Hendrik. They just had 25 against
He changed
25
at the last second. It was
second.
heartbreaking.
Both of them changed something. Simon had an Ellison with triple L, and he found out that it was triple L, and he corrected it down again. Jan Hendrik had 25, and he corrected it down to 24. So it's so interesting in memory sports. You have only we can see that they're already right. They have all these points, and then all of a sudden they start rationalizing. And I just sent that to Max. I see that from my own training. When I follow my instinct, it's in most cases right. But then when I think about it, it doesn't feel like it's right. I don't remember this image. It just came out of the blue, and then I start rationalizing it, and I think about it, and I think a little bit more about it, and I delete it again, or I don't trust myself, and I put in something else, and that's wrong.
The great thing about watching these events is you can see how the competitors' minds are working at it. I remember last year, or maybe the year before, Simon in a numbers event, he typed in a huge string of numbers. He stopped, he realised he've only got 14 images, there should be 15. He still thinks, wait, where is the gap? What is the other image? You can see it all playing out in his mind as he's sitting there.
The
It's
last
wonderful.
30 seconds, I can see that.
I can never quite understand what's going on in Lance's mind. He's,
Yeah,
he's a little high
he's always the
strung.
same. Now, with your preparation, has it changed over the years? Are you,
Yeah, I mean, when I started back in the year 2000, there was really only the World Memory Championship. So I spent most of my time preparing the long events, the marathon events as we call them, 1 hour numbers, 1 hour cards. Things like the XMT, they didn't come along until a lot later on. I did a little bit of practice of speed cards in the old days, but I mainly focused on the long events, the long disciplines. Now I think there's a lot more focus on the quick, short things, they're remembering something very, very fast.
now, is it exhausting over time?
It's really physically shattering. After a competition like this, I mean, I haven't done so much this year on account of being knocked early, but if I'd gone away to the final, I would have to spend the next day asleep. Absolutely. It wears me out physically, and it does the same, I think, for everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like real hard work, a championship.
It is.
Especially if you have several days, like the World Memory Championships, 3 days with marathon disciplines where you sit there for 3 hours just for one discipline.
But even this over 3 days, it's so intense. You're only sitting there memorising for a minute maximum.
Right.
But it's so draining.
Now, do you think it's a competitive advantage for someone like Everett Chu, who's 15 years old?
It's scary. He wasn't even born when I first started doing this.
Yeah, actually,
That is incredible.
That's a really good question, because we had this discussion before yesterday, and then Vessel came in and he said, "Oh no, I think the young ones will always be superior to the older ones." And I completely disagree.
I don't think that's true at all.
I think
you can see
if,
Marlowe.
if any in any age, if you do the right training and the right dedication, you can outsmart all these youngsters with ease. Yeah, and I mean, for example, when we look at you, you had your peak a couple of years ago, and then you had all these world records, numbers, cards, and so on, and then for a while you were holding that.
I was
quite
top
a while.
of the world in my early 30s, so there's still hope if you're that kind of age.
Right, and
Gunter Karsten won the world championship when he was late 40s.
Exactly, he's a perfect example
Yeah.
of that. He was super dedicated. He always had this goal to become this world memory champion, and he was 8 times German champion when he finally reached that moment. And afterwards, he immediately dropped out of memory sports. He reached his goal. He didn't want to go further anymore.
Well, I feel like you're going to come back.
Well,
I feel like you're motivated now.
I hope so, yeah, but it's hard to come back. Like Florian said, Gunter stopped competing after he'd achieved his goal, won the world champion. I myself, the first time I won the world championship, I couldn't sit down and look at a pack of cards for another year after that. I just couldn't find the motivation to sit down and practice. I got it back and then it slumped off again.
Yeah. And then you got it back again.
Well, I was saying to somebody this morning, the last time I was seriously practically training was 2008. I've done bits and pieces since then, but I'm basically coasting on all the hard work I did all those years ago.
But it's
That's
also
incredible.
impressive that that it shows how you can keep up a level that you achieved once with little training, little to none training, and it will not fade away. Like when you're doing weightlifting, for example, you build up muscles, if you don't do anything, it will go away in no time. It's not the case here. You might forget a little bit, but then with some training, you get quickly to where you were before.
Exactly, yeah. My problem is that if I get back to where I was before when I won the World Championship all those years ago, it's not half as good as everybody is nowadays. The thing about memory competition, the standard jumps up every year. You have to keep practicing.
Now, do you think
improving.
anyone's taking anything? Like 16 seconds for cards? What? It's unbelievable.
Well, people have talked about that before. I'm not sure what kind of drugs would be good. I remember Josh Ford saying Ritalin might be interesting.
Whatever they're taking, I want to take.
What would be interesting?
Ritalin, it's what American kids get dosed with it.
Yeah, we all get dosed with it raw.
But it sort of improves concentration. It would be a sort of help for this kind of.
But if you,
Sorry. Speaking of Joshua Ford, you were just having this funny thing going on when you entered the United States and the border control.
When I came into the US, I went to the border control to get my passport stamped. The guy there said, "Oh, you're Ben Fridmore. You're in Moonwalking with Einstein by Josh Ford. I love that book." And he talked. He's developing his memory palace. He's learning memory techniques.
That's incredible.
That's
See, it's building up.
It's like being a celebrity coming into the country.
Yeah.
Well, you are.
Yeah, you
You're one of the founders,
of course. And for a long time, you were the figure for memory sports. So don't talk yourself down. You're still a legend.
Long time ago now, yeah. But it's nice coming here and being treated like a legend.
No, seriously.
But I mean, what I really appreciate about you is you're really the only super champion of memory sports who stayed with it, even though that others came and surpassed you.
Wait, guys,
and I really think
let's get to this. There's
thing.
a minute left in this event, and Everett is holding it right now, 78-76.
Oh, he's just trying to remember that one last thing.
3 and 6.
She's mixed up two of her images down at the bottom there, 93 and 12.
But it's interesting how you can see where she's actually at the moment with her yellow highlights to check the digits that she typed in there. She's at the moment at the incorrect one.
But look at Marlo. What happened to him?
And here he got Everett his perfect score.
But what happened to Marlo?
It's unlikely that Cece can correct
I don't
that.
know. Do you think he's been distracted in some way?
I think he has.
He's not filled in anything on his images.
Do you know what happened to Lance in round 2? He just left the table.
Yeah, Lance was under the impression that the surprise task was still going on. And so even though he selected words for the next one, he thought he was going to be recalling old words rather than memorising new ones.
Oh, so he left?
Yeah.
He hates it.
He reacts strongly to things like a lot of memory competitors do. I don't know if you could hear the audio in here. He shouted, "What is this? What is this?" during the mental preparation 10 seconds.
And he's down 0-3. And now he gets a point.
Can you do that? Wasn't that distracting to everyone else?
You shouldn't do that, no. And I know in the cards as well, when he'd finished memorising, he clapped his hands.
Okay, he got his first point now, Lance.
He lost them both anyway.
He's down 1-3 against Marlo.
Yep,
which is a sensation because
fascinating,
Lance was the top runner yesterday. But on the other hand, it was a bit foreseeable because he was never in the final rounds. And he is really specialized in what he could prepare himself with. And then when the surprise event came in, he might
check it out. Katie got a perfect 50.
She got
51.31 seconds. Is that a new record?
By yesterday, it would have been a huge announcement. Oh no, it's 51. I didn't see that.
Seconds.
It's a new world record.
It's a new world record.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new world record in words, and which is also sensational because in the last 2 years we barely or not at all saw a world record on day 2 because everyone was just focusing on getting the points. They didn't.
But that's incredible. She beat her own record again.
And here we are on the camera, ladies and gentlemen. He is the man with a hat, Ben Pridmore, right? So Ben, tell us, are you honestly planning to take the torch back and really get into some training? Because what you always say is, I don't train, I just stay here, but do you want to come back? We just talked about
I would like to come back.
People are rooting for you.
It's not that I don't want to do it. Well, it is, but it's so psychological, you know.
Yeah.
I just can't find the motivation to sit down and train and work. I mean, long ago, back 2003, 2004, I was doing nothing but working on my systems, training memory techniques. It was new, it was exciting, it captivated me. And that's what took me to the top in the first place. But ever since then, it's hard to motivate myself to do the same thing again that I've already done in the past.
Interesting.
You see what I
Johannes
mean?
just
What
said the
about
same
this?
thing
Does
yesterday.
that motivate?
What's that?
Does this motivate you?
Money? Not in the slightest. No, I'm famous for it. No, I don't care whether I have money or not. It would be nice if I had. I never do.
Yeah.
I'm flat broke at the moment, which I always am. But
Really? Well,
I can't really ever use money as a motivation.
Yeah.
I'm an old school communist, basically. I think I would abolish money if I was the ruler of the world altogether.
wow.
Which will probably make people laugh if my work colleagues are watching this at home. Because I am an accountant in real life.
Are you really? So you're pretty good with numbers.
But privately, I'm not fond of money.
Well, you were an accountant until now.
Yeah, until now. Sorry, guys. Okay, so but I feel like you just saw this. You came in. You're shown as a celebrity. Get the motivation back. We want you to win again.
Yes, no disrespect, Florian has said that to me before. You tried to motivate me with, go on, do it. It takes a bit more than that, I think.
know,
It needs
it
something
does.
to click in my brain. Maybe it will one day. We never know.
And you also need a different strategy, because so far you had your strategy, you had your systems, you know what you were doing, you were going to the top, and then other people were adopting that, taking over your systems, the bend system.
The bend system.
Everyone wanted to have the double card system. You were the first one inventing that.
At least I will always have the credit of having been the innovator of the idea of a two-card system.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a fairly basic idea, but nobody had thought of it until that point.
What do you think they're talking about now, Marlo and Lance?
As I say, I always have difficulty getting into Lance's mind. He's sort of from another planet in another
Isn't
way,
he?
in a very nicest possible way. Yes.
Right, but it's true, and it has some similarity with some other people that I saw before in memory sports. Also, the fact that he's taking off his shoes and sits there in his socks, it's great.
We get that quite a bit
we
in
saw
memory
that. We saw it with
competitions.
Clemens Meyer. We saw
Yeah,
it with Jonas
Jonas
von
von
Essen.
Essen, yes. I think I started a trend. I'm wearing matching socks today. I quite often wear odd socks at these competitions, just because it attracts people's attention somehow, and they say, "Oh, look, you're wearing different coloured socks. That's really cool and eccentric."
But look at your fellow UK competitor. She just beat another record. She didn't even look like it didn't phase her. She's incredible. Is she surprised you?
She's relaxed. She's astonishingly good at names and at words. She's the best in the world at those two events. She needs to. The thing about the XMT is you need a sort of more all-round thing. So she's still working on improving her cards of images, things like that. If she gets to that level, she'll
be the best.
blow everybody else away.
Right.
Even now, she's a force to be reckoned with, just because she's very, very hard to beat at those two disciplines.
Now, right before you start memorizing, what do? How do you get in like a meditation mode or?
I'm sitting there, I close my eyes, and I just run through the journey that I'm going to use in my head.
What's your
Mental
journey?
I have lots of different journeys.
Yeah.
1,638. Is that right?
I don't even know. I'm impressed that you know how many.
I created these champion cards. They're available to download, and I think that was the number that you gave me. You were the only one who really gave me such a precise number. At first you answered. Actually, I never counted them, and then you actually wrote down this calculation process.
I must have sat down and calculated it for you, but I've forgotten now. We'll have to check the number. It would be a multiple of 26 because I have 26 locations on each of my journeys, but I have a lot of journeys.
But Ben, what do you think about? Do you think about? Let's give us a couple examples. Like, I know some people think of anime characters. Some people.
I have a lot of cartoon characters. I have a lot of comic book superheroes and things like that. I have people I know. I have a lot of objects. I have a microphone. I have a computer. I have a table. I have a chair among my images. I have 2,704 different images, basically, so there's a lot of them that come in.
Have I ever been in your...
Unfortunately, I didn't know who you were until this weekend.
No!
The problem with this is, I created my images back in 2003, so almost nobody who I know in memory competitions now is in my images.
Especially Everett Chu.
They've all, especially Everett Chu. Was he was a baby at that point.
By the way, I just realized that I followed your rise in your career live. I was there in 2004 when you became the world memory champion for the first time, wasn't it? 2004,
it was, yes.
right? And then the third time you became the world memory champion was in 2009. I was there
That's
as
right,
well.
yes.
I just didn't see your second one, but I'm actually very happy that
the second one was Bahrain, wasn't it? The second year we were in Bahrain. That was a fantastic championship.
Right.
You get to go to some incredible places.
That's the wonderful thing that memory sports has given me over the years. I've been all around the world. I practically never left the country before I started. Wow. And when I say the country, I mean England, which is like quite small compared to the rest of the world.
So if you're watching and you want to become a memory athlete, you can go to Bahrain, Singapore, you can go to the UK, some incredible places.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, when you are connected with me on Facebook, or even if you're not connected with me on Facebook, you can write me some questions, and I will see them here on my computer, and we can ask Ben or anyone else.
Hey, look at that!
later.
You've got a data card all about me.
Yeah, here's your
And there's
data
things
card.
about me
Your
that I-
baseball card.
1,638, I think it was right. Yeah, here we are.
Oh, we're starting the next event.
Exactly. Let's switch to that.
So at table 1, CC and Everett, they chose words. Table 2, Lance and Marlowe, images. Table 3, Simon and Jan Hendrik, images. And table 4, Johannes and Katie, is
Oh, I
numbers.
see they haven't counted the previous event for Lance and Marlowe. Something
Yes,
must
they are down one event. So
Something must have gone on with that. I know we saw Marlowe didn't put anything in.
Look at CC, four words at the same
4
time.
words at a time, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I think the highest one I ever saw was Jonas van Essen with 5. And I found that pretty crazy because you have to stack that all together. But it seemed to work for these guys. I go with Everett's choice of 2 words together. I think it's a perfect combination. It's very easy to create your images like that. How do you do that?
I do 3 myself. I only started using locations in that way when I came to the XMT. In older competitions when I was doing words, I would just string them all together in a big long story. I wouldn't split them into groups at all. Here I do them in 3s, but Simon Orton, one of the organisers of the XMT, he sent me an email saying, do you think you could perhaps move the words around on the screen? What I do is I just stare at the little words because I find it easier just to read from a list rather than to have a few appear before me at a time.
Jake O'Gorman sends his love from England. Jake and Star.
Hello, Jake and Star.
Wait, what happened here, guys? I think they stopped Everett, Chu, and CC.
Oh dear, all kinds of things going on in there.
We're zooming in on CC. Something must have happened to her screen. She seems upset.
Yeah, she is down in her group behind Everett. Let's have a quick look here what the overall points say. Oh, the website is not reacting anymore. Maybe that's...
That is probably what the problem
Is it for
isn't
you?
it?
I think it is.
It is.
The images is still going on, Simon and Jan Hendrik.
Yeah, they're working right now. Yeah, Katie and Johannes are tied up. Simon, Jan Hendrik, so Simon's beating Jan Hendrik 3-1. And Marlowe's up 3-0 against Lance. I thought Lance won. No.
Yeah, I was just saying to Florian, they didn't seem to have counted the score of the last one. We saw Marlowe didn't fill anything in. There must have been some technical problem, I guess.
Wow.
Or perhaps some, I don't know, distraction problem.
And that's exhausting, too, to go through it again.
Yeah. But something has happened out there with CC and Everett as well, obviously.
But the others are still running there?
Yeah. Jan Hendrik's got his images mixed up.
Well, I will be right back, guys.
The coffee is running through.
The coffee, yes.
Yeah, for me too. After we switch. All right, so let's have a look here. Everett is 3-1 in the lead in his slot against CC. Then we have Lance Marlowe in the lead with 3-0. Is that accurate? Because Lance just got a point.
That's what we've just been saying. They obviously haven't counted the results of the images.
Right.
We saw Marlowe didn't fill anything in, so there's obviously some kind of technical problem going on. You see they're doing images again now, so they're redoing that one. And it looks like Marlowe is winning this time, although Lance may still fill in those gaps.
Yeah, we never know, right? But sadly we cannot hear the sound from the room.
Yeah.
At least the audience hears what's going on there, so they are actually more informed than we are here at the commentary.
I think Lance is pretty badly rattled by things that have gone on at first. You see, he's always a little agitated. He's not one of those who sits rock solid. He's always moving. He's twiddling his thumbs. He's
and this is
shifting
exactly
his position.
why I didn't put him as my favorite, just as my second in favorite.
Yeah.
Because I see that he is such a talented guy, but he gets pretty easily shaken off by things, and this is why I thought Marvin will have a better chance. Although Marvin didn't do so well yesterday, but that doesn't mean anything. He might come hard today, and he's competing against Christian. If we look at both skills from those two guys, I think Marvin is superior than Christian.
I think Marvin gets the higher scores, but I always say Marvin does tend to underperform at a big event like the XMT. Christian is consistent. He's got an old head on young shoulders. He's not as young as he looks. But
right, and he has a lot of experience, right?
Yes.
He competed at so many championships already. He is one of the most experienced. You are actually the #1 in the world in terms of how many competitions.
I
you
used to be.
competed
I
at.
think Boris beat
Boris
me, didn't he?
is close to you.
I
or-
thought Boris overtook me.
He'd already overtook you.
I don't keep count of these things, but I'm sure I remember Boris saying on Facebook, "I've now overtaken Ben Pridmore as the person who's competed in the most competitions."
Right. I actually am very high on that ladder as well, although I haven't competed in ages. I got 14 competitions. That's not.
Do
That's
you know
not
how many
little.
I competed in? It must
Yeah,
be
when I
a good-
counted that, were at 35-ish or something.
I was just going to say it must be about
since,
3 dozen.
Since then, you got a few more.
Lance slumped over his desk like that. I envy Lance's hair. It's amazing. I wish I could have hair like that.
And look at this, Marlowe is
has
very,
won now.
very happy.
4-0. Marlowe
Yeah.
gets through to the quarterfinals.
And Lance is devastated. Look at that. This is very dangerous, this moment for him now. He must really get himself together, otherwise he will drop out. And this is so easy to get these things, to let these things get into your head, and then it creates so much stress and adrenaline and so on.
He's a highly strong person. That can be a good thing in this. That does, I think, help him to get these super fast times he's got.
Actually, my specialty is to talk with people in these kinds of situations. I would love to go in there now and just take his hand and pet it a little bit and give him some pet
I remember
talk.
at the first XMT 2 years ago, Jonas, he had a complete mental collapse in his... He was 3-0 up and then he ended up losing 4-3 to Hannes Marlowe.
Right.
And he was absolutely devastated about this. And his girlfriend came up straight afterwards and just gave him a hug, and they were like standing there hugging for the next 5 minutes. It was awesome to see.
Yeah. I think it will go in there as
someone
soon
ought to
as
someone ought
Max
to go
is
and give
coming
Lance a
back,
hug.
because I always do these kinds of things, and I collect these moments where I can help people to get out of these. I did that for Johannes Marlowe in 2013 when he was losing against Jonas from Essen, trying to defend his title in London, and it was 9 disciplines out of 10 before the speed cuts event, and he was about to give up. And I gave him the pep talk, and he went back into the room, and for the first time in his career, he did speed cuts under 30 seconds. And I did the same with Jonas. I mentioned this yesterday. I asked Jonas after his first win, is he John Hunt or Niki Lauda?
James Hunt.
James Hunt.
Yeah.
James Hunt won the Formula One championship once, and then he kind of dropped out. He didn't really care anymore. And Niki Lauda really kept working and did that, and we are off.
You're going to be cut off in a second.
Right.
You're going to be doing audio.
For table 4, Katie has chosen to do names. She's up 3-2. At table 1, they're going to redo their words event, and Everett is up 3-1.
No.
No one can hear us anymore. Well, and I take the opportunity to quickly run to the bathroom.
Sorry, we are about to get.
We are live.
We are live. Well,
You go to the
everyone knows now that I need to go to the bathroom. Thank you very much. I love this. Honestly, this is like this. We are so professional, but on the other hand, we're so unprofessional. This is beautiful. I really want to keep it like that. It has some flavor. I don't want to do this normal professional sports commentating where we all are wearing suits and we try to be super serious. This is so much more fun.
I hate wearing suits, you know. That's another thing that if anybody from work is going to be watching, they'll be flabbergasted, because I have to wear a suit and tie for work, which I hate.
Flabbergasted. What is that word?
Flabbergasted. It's a nice word we use in England. It means... It sounds like a German word. We've probably co-opted some German word at some point in history.
Probably. I mean, the entire English language was partly based on German, isn't
Only
it?
half of it, the Anglo-Saxons.
But even more funnier is that the Germans are adopting English words which are incorrect in English. So, for example, our mobile phone is called
yes, it's
handy.
handy. And if you wear a tuxedo, it's a smoking, isn't it?
And I'm the moderator. I'm the moderator, but it's called host or commentator or something like that in English. No, not moderator. The showmaster.
The showmaster.
I'm the
showmaster.
Like exactly. This is
Showmaster delay.
Marlowe is coming in. He's going to talk about what just happened.
I shall get out of the way then, shall I?
No,
come on, stay here. I need to go out. I mean, all our thousands of viewers know that I need to go to the bathroom anyway. So I'm going there now, and I need to give a pep talk to Lance anyway.
Okay.
So talk to you soon in a sec.
A pep talk to Lance.
While you were here, our guy in the booth there said, "You're off air for the moment," and Florence said, oh, well, I need to go to the bathroom. And they said, "No, you're still on, actually." So we've got...
Remember, we're live here, people.
So while you were out, Marlowe has beaten Lance.
Yeah, again.
4-0. They redid the images and Marlowe won it, so it's a
So it's over.
straight sets win. And Simon has beaten Jan Hendrik. Simon is always my pick for this event, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He's my hot favourite to come and win it this year.
Wow, the German.
You see these young people, the Lancers, the Alexes of the world, they're coming and taking over. Simon, I think, is always so super professional, so consistent at everything.
He is. He
He's
really is.
an
And he's
amazing
always
memory
focused.
man, and he has been for many years. Perhaps he still has he's by far the best memoriser never to win the World Championship. He came close a few years. But
He
never,
won XMT.
He's won the XMT,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think he's still got this drive to prove that he's absolutely the best in the world.
So you think Simon's winning it all?
I have him to win. Yeah, that would be who my money was on if I was betting on it.
Who's he going to face in the finals, Alex?
Well, Alex, he has to be a hot favourite as well. Boris surprised everybody last year. He did beat Simon in the semi-finals, and he could go far as well. Johannes Mallow, again, he's the reigning champion, which perhaps has an effect on the motivation. He perhaps might stumble again.
That's
trying
true,
to
but
win
look
it.
at that. It's Katie it might be Katie versus Simon.
That will be a tough.
That's a tough
That will be
one.
a tough one. Katie, like I say, is unstoppable in names and words. But if anyone can stop her, it's Simon, because he's a real expert at those as well.
Now, how do you use your memory techniques outside of these competitions?
That's a question I get asked a lot, and when I answer it, I get in trouble with a lot of people.
Why?
Because my answer is I don't use these memory techniques
Why would you
outside
get in trouble for
competitions.
that?
Because there are a lot of people out there, hello, you know who you are, who make a living by selling memory techniques to people.
Oh, okay.
and their sales pitch for this business of theirs is to say that it will be something you can use in everyday life. So when I go around and say, well, I personally don't use those techniques at all, except for the simple party tricks of memorising a deck of cards, they reckon it's hurting their business. So I've just fallen out of favour with a few people again.
Well, that's pretty big. At parties, you can use it.
Actually, my icebreaker at parties is admitting that I don't remember anybody's name. I am famously bad at remembering people's names. It's given people no end of laughs over the years.
Do you know my last name?
God, now you're talking. Sorry, am I allowed to say God on?
Yeah, you're allowed to say anything you want. You can say shit.
My God, I can say shit. I could be like Boris. He's famous for his reactions. One time, when he lost a competition, he bellowed out, "Ah, Scheiße!" The German word for shit.
Talking about Boris.
About Boris's reactions when he wins and loses a game.
I don't know if you picked that up, but Lance is out.
Yes,
Yep.
we've been talking about that.
Yeah.
And here comes the guy that just beat Lance.
Here's Marlowe.
Marlowe.
See, I told
The
you it had a
sensation, the sensation of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello,
Marlowe
sir.
Knight, come on. Here, sit down. Thank you. We are not on camera right now. We are looking in the room. So
Look at this
there we
guy,
are.
Marlowe
Hanan
Knight.
Marlowe.
How does it feel that you just beat Lance, the guy who won yesterday?
Fantastic. I really didn't expect to get through this match, so I think there was a few problems in the match. So I wish it hadn't gone down the way it did in some areas, but really happy to be through.
But the
Can't believe it, to
surprise
be honest.
event, you really did very well. All green.
You did. I would have got 21 if
Oh,
I
really?
didn't. I was doing it in my
Yeah.
head while the rest of
But
you were
you know,
doing it.
When they said it's going to be your last event, I couldn't even remember what some of the events. I wasn't sure what my last event was. I mean, I suppose if the names had come up, you'd see the faces. Maybe it would jog your memory. But luckily, I remembered my numbers, which was the last match, and yeah, I think I got 61 or 60.
So yeah, 61.
Impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive.
So,
But what
I
a
mean-
sensation! What a sensation! You were just qualifying the last. At
Yeah.
the last of the entire field yesterday,
Yeah, and first one
now
too.
you bet the one who was on the top. Yes.
yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, I mean, and there was issues with the words.
Yeah.
I'm not
What
sure.
happened with that? So
Well, probably Lance should give his side of it. I think.
Yeah.
I think what happened. He thought it was another recall from yesterday. That he had to remember the words from yesterday, maybe. So when the words came up, it kind of surprised him, and he wasn't ready. No. But then he kind of walked off. It kind of distracted me. I think I only scored 10 because I was
But you still
distracted. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. I don't really want to win like that. I
Yeah, I
want to
know.
win fairly, but you know, what can I do?
exactly.
So
In fairness, Marlowe, you've just won by being really quite awesome. You know?
Yeah,
It's not
you're
like
pretty
it's
amazing.
It's not like you were hopeless, you couldn't remember a thing. You are
Yeah.
great.
Oh, thank you.
Another thing is, I'm rooting for you against Everett. I don't know if that can work out,
What,
but
is Everett through? I haven't seen the other.
They're still
oh,
doing
that's the
their
next
final,
round.
I was so focused on my match, I didn't really look at anyone else.
They're still doing their final one. Everett
Yep.
is 3-1 up at the moment.
Let's see. Let's go to the live event. It looks like
There they
he's
are. Is he winning?
yeah, he's winning,
He
and he
is.
did it in less than 60 seconds.
Yeah, that will take him through unless she
Yes.
can get back and fill in those blanks. She's still got some she's writing in. It's
So
gonna be
between you
close.
both, let's divide 63 by 2. That'll be 31.5, the average age. You and Everett.
So that's it. Yeah, I'm against Everett.
Yep, you're against Everett.
They've not
Well,
actually-
hopefully.
They've
We'll
not
see.
actually quite finished yet.
Yeah, it's not quite.
But-
Let's not
Yeah,
get.
okay. But if it is, so that's the youngest against the oldest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
That's another thing I'm thankful to you for. I'm the second eldest here. If Marlo wasn't here,
Thank you,
everybody would be
Marlo.
saying old man Ben.
I've been calling you old man
I mean,
Marlo.
that's a tough match. I mean, Everett's pretty awesome, isn't he? Like he's, yeah.
But I'm rooting for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if I can say that. And it looks like it's
Ooh,
all
look
tied
at
up
that,
between
look at
Katie.
that. Johannes Joe has actually beaten Katie at names, and that is a pretty rare thing.
Well,
It's
we
not
don't know
finished-
yet.
It's not finished yet, but can they fill in another blank?
Let's see what Katie has right now. So she's still
They're
on
both on-
Alan and Steven. She hasn't written anything in yet for both of them. And Johannes has Thomas for Jimmy, and then he's starting Jay for nope.
That would put them in a tie there. Katie and Johannes.
Oh, that's
Johannes
true.
finished faster. Johannes did it in 56.64.
Oh,
so
she's typing in something?
Nope, no, it's
no,
over.
it's not good enough. Oh, that's it!
Oh!
Second!
the last
Look at
moment.
that.
Oh,
wow.
Oh my god.
Katie moves on to the next
So that
round.
moves Katie against Simon,
In
which
the
is that
last
great
second,
match we were
yeah.
talking
And look
about.
at Cece won too. Cece beat
So
Everett.
she did. She filled in those words. So that is still going on.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Well, this is
Unbelievable.
exciting. I mean, this is exactly why the XMT is so cool.
Exactly. Yeah. We can sit here and cheer, and it's still going on.
Exactly.
The
I
classical-
love the best out of
In
seven.
the classical,
classical
classical events, we
memory
would have
competition.
waited forever now
Yes.
to see any results, and it wouldn't be so
And
exciting.
before that, we'd have had a room full of desks with people sitting there in absolute silence for 3 hours looking at a piece of paper. It's the worst spectator sport ever, but the XMT is so much cooler.
Yeah, this is true. I'm actually really put off that I'm doing this old traditional pen and paper event next weekend with the US Memory Open.
No, what I see is in the future we're going to be able to go inside your brain and see your memory palace. It'll be kind of creepy.
I'm not sure I want you inside my brain. Come on. Give a guy a little privacy at least.
No, I rather actually think that we will visualize that, what I already mentioned it now several times in interviews with technology,
Yeah.
virtual reality, augmented reality. We go into three-dimensional levels, we walk around there, there's Mickey Mouse jumping up and down, and we have to remember that. These kind of things. And
Mickey Mouse is
there's
in
a
my
lot
head.
of potential.
It
yeah?
really.
A lot
Number
of
three,
virtual, yeah.
number 337. Mickey Mouse.
Are you serious? 337? Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, that's huge
Is that
potential for us.
337 is Mickey Mouse.
337 is Mickey Mouse. He's also the 3 of clubs and 7 of spades. And he's also the binary digit 0011011111.
Oh my god, that's
I've got
impressive.
Mickey Mouse, but he's 317 in mine.
Pretty
Because I've
close,
changed the
Oh, yeah.
the assignments for the for the numbers. I changed slightly.
Can we get that bag out of here? The Yankees bag? I don't like that.
So Mickey
I don't even know.
Mouse,
Are
that's-
Yankees baseball or is
Yeah,
it?
it's baseball. Yep. And
You're not
Yankees
a
are
fan then?
Americans.
I don't. I do like baseball actually.
You do?
Yeah.
It's statistics too.
Whenever I come to America, I always like to try and watch the baseball because they just don't show it on British
Yeah.
TV.
Wow.
I find it an exciting game.
I like hearing that. Yeah. Here we go. Next round. This is big between Everett and Cece.
Yeah. Everett just needs one more win.
And it's images right now, the event.
Cece is great at images. She can do times of around 16 seconds. I don't know if she's going to go for super fast or if she's going to try and make sure she gets them all right.
There's our IT guy, Nick, right in back. You can see him. Hello, sir.
He's waving at us.
Here we go. We have more spectators today.
It's more exciting, the knockout rounds. Plus it's the weekend.
And here we go. Memorization starts.
pretty much the same speed there.
They're pretty close, aren't they?
Everett's
Yeah.
a little
She's
above her.
just lagging behind, but
Just
she's
winning.
well,
Oh, no, she's
it's
moving.
catching up. Well, look at
She's
that.
go ahead.
She's catching
She's
up.
going to stop it
super
now. Yeah,
fast.
19. So
Yeah.
Everett saw his screen going blue, so now he's going to spend the rest of the minute making sure he gets all 30 right and hoping she makes a mistake.
Now she's just reviewing in her head.
Which I find extremely difficult for the images.
With the images, it's much harder to review in your head. Yeah, I tend to look at the last 6 images and, give them each a name, run through my head, say, cup, girl, ball, whatever, repeatedly. And then when I come back to it, I'm seeing the images, I fill in the rest of the gap as I go along.
I just do the last 4 in short-term memory.
Well, I do things in threes generally, so it has
Oh,
to be the
yeah.
last 6.
I do 3.
Oh, okay, I just do 2 per location, so yeah.
Yeah.
I do 3 at my short-term memory, and I tend to always mix up the first and the last one for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's just quite a common theme in my training.
Okay,
we
now
go.
we're recalling. Let's see what they can do.
So this Cece really needs that win now.
She's starting somewhere near the bottom.
Filling in her last. She also
She
did
looks like-
6 there,
yeah.
obviously. That's where she filling in the images first.
Everett already
Those
mixed up the
were already
last.
correct. That's pretty cool. Everett has done his first mistakes already.
And everyone remember to go to extremememorychallenge.com. Again, extremememorychallenge.com. Take the challenge. We want 1 million people to take this challenge. Please do it. It's only 5 to 10 minutes. Silence is golden. Cece is looking like she's on fire right now.
Seriously, do support the Extreme Memory Challenge. Those guys
Yeah.
are awesome, the people
It's
who are running
incredible.
it.
It really is. And let's see if you can beat Nelson, because that's what happens at the end.
CC's all perfect so far. This would level it up at 3-3, so it'd be sudden death in the final one
It
if
looks
she wins
really
this.
good for her.
Uh-oh.
Look at this.
Uh-oh.
Only 4
So
images
quickly.
to go. Everything is green on her end so far.
I think she
3
finished.
to go.
She did it.
2 to go.
She did.
And she
She's
got,
got
it.
it.
She
Wow,
got
wow.
it. Look at this. This makes them. That gives her a tie now with Everett.
It's tied 3-3. He's still going.
He has to keep filling his in,
Yeah,
He
so
just
the
has to
only
be hoping
thing
that she's made a mistake.
Could destroy this now is when she is getting unsecure about her choices now. Wouldn't be the first time today.
Looks like I don't think she's clicked the finish button, so she's not 100% certain about it.
How does your brain feel today? Both of you. Are you exhausted?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, yeah.
You feel good,
I was
okay.
exhausted last night, but
Yeah.
I had a good sleep.
8 hours?
7 hours, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go, Marlo. And look up at the top, extremememorychallenge.com. Everyone knows it. We have 1:40 till we're done. We're
It's
just
also
waiting.
a psychological thing when you are leading and then all of a sudden your opponent is getting 1 point, next point, next point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really throws you
Yeah.
off.
I think the advantage, the momentum's now with CC, isn't it?
We never know.
But
Never know.
She chose images, right? So he'll get
Yes.
the choice now.
Mm-hmm.
So
What do you think you should choose?
Well, his favorite
Cards,
is
probably.
his favorite is images, I think.
Yeah, but he just went down.
Yeah. Well,
cards, he's pretty good.
Cards, yeah.
I don't know what he's. I didn't see all of the match earlier on. I don't know what.
I think you should do the surprise.
You can't choose the surprise, sadly.
A minute left.
I don't think they're going to change anything now, so we're looking at
Yeah, we're looking at 3-3.
the one last decider. Extra time, penalties, to use the football analogy. Soccer, sorry.
Not football. Sorry.
Real football with feet.
I mean, that makes sense calling it football.
Konstantin Skula from Germany, former children on junior world memory champion, is extremely happy that Ben as a co-host is here with us.
Ben als Co-Kommentator ist echt super. Das könnte oft öfter machen. He should do that more. That's what it means.
Ben was just trying to read the German text that Konstantin was writing us.
My German, sadly, is not very good. It embarrasses me. There's so many Germans at these competitions. They all speak English perfectly.
My English is not very good.
I stumble my way through a conversation in German, and they just laugh at
But
me behind my
you
back.
speak a little
I
German?
speak a little. I actually did A-level German at school.
Oh.
Guys, here we go. And
Yep.
CC takes it home.
CC
It's
takes it.
3-3.
3-3. Whoa.
Well, so now comes the final round for them. The winner of the next one will go into the quarterfinals against Marlow.
Yeah.
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 I don't know which would be the best opponent for me. They're both pretty good.
Well, she looks excited, and he is like a little bit nervous now.
Does anybody try to psychologically imitate you, or like try to, take you off guard before your match?
I don't think Lance did it deliberately, but
Yeah.
People do put you
People
off,
do,
but I don't
right?
know whether it's deliberate or not.
Is it a look they give, like to the right before?
Actually, so far the toughest athlete here is, I think, Simon Reinhardt, who always is.
he's so super cool all the time. The Iceman, James Patterson likes to call him.
Well, here we are, all four of us again.
Hey! So
Two
with
British.
Mal Knight from the UK, with Ben Pritmer from the UK. We
From
have-
Germany.
Yeah, well, people know us already.
And look at the top, Extreme Memory Challenge. Look at the bottom, extremememorychallenge.com.
Oh, this is vice versa. I don't really get it.
Well, this is like if you're a meteorologist, you move this way and that way. And look at the top over here, we have the Twitter feed. A world record breaking day. Another
was
one today.
awesome yesterday, all
it was
those world
incredible.
records.
And it was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I thought people would get tired and exhausted, but no, you keep getting better and better.
You get the adrenaline. You see other people do something good. You get all the more driven
Yeah.
to go and do it. You don't crash out. You don't feel tired until the end of the competition. Then everybody slumps and goes to bed early.
Exactly. And all right, so before this starts, what did your brother say to you today? Did he give you any motivation?
Not today, but last night
Last
we
night.
discussed tactics, like
Yeah.
against Lance, like what games I should pick and everything. I discussed it with him.
And
so-
it worked out.
Well, it worked. As it turned out, it worked out. Yeah, surprisingly.
Memorization starts in 5 seconds, and they're
And we're
giving cards.
just getting a message on Facebook from Katna, the coach from the Mongolian team. He is super excited that his student Sissy is now doing so great. And yeah, well, props to you, Katna, because you did the most amazing thing in the entire memory sports world. You put an entire country on the map of memory sports. All your students are doing so great, and I think you have one of the biggest memory schools in the world now.
Look at this
So let's have a
speed.
look at what's going on here. Everett and Cece with their cards. Cece's super fast with
They both are.
with their PAO. I mean, honestly, you barely see someone being so
They're not
extremely
madly fast. They're
fast.
taking Oh!
So close.
Oh man,
So
0.35
close.
seconds.
No.
You know, the problem is, do you think that Everett picked up that there was in that split second there was a blue screen?
No,
No.
I can
Yeah,
say
no.
I can say from experience. You remember 2 years ago, Jonas did exactly the same to me, 0.34 seconds
Right.
in the numbers.
I
And
love
did,
this, Sue,
It
man.
was too fast to notice the blue screen.
Because if he would have seen that, that would really throw him off. No?
Yeah.
So let's just hope for his sake that he didn't put up on that, because that would be a psychological breakdown maybe.
Can we get an extreme close-up of her face? Try to get underneath that paper. Here we go. They both start from the bottom. Now they're here.
I like the paper, by the way. It does help, I think. I think I can focus on the screen without looking at my opponent, but there's always sort of the knowledge that they're there. I
Yeah.
did experiment yesterday. I don't normally wear my hat when I'm memorising. I did experiment with pulling it down over my eyes like
Did it work?
this. It didn't. This isn't a very comfortable hat.
No, it doesn't look
This,
like
this is my spare hat that I had to bring along because I lost my main hat. But here we go. They're both filling him in pretty confidently, quickly.
It looks
No
good.
gaps.
It looks good, but
I can't believe
the
if he
odds
loses.
at the moment are on Cece's side. But she has, look at this, her last two cards are not, she didn't put them in, so she must have a problem with that. But if she
Yeah.
gets in all the others, then that wouldn't be a problem anymore.
I'm pretty
to be honest.
confident about her right now.
But since she's using a PAO, that means those last two cards she might have just put into her short-term memory, so she
Yes,
could
that's
easily
right.
just confuse them. She probably, even if she just sees those last two remaining cards, and she doesn't remember them now, she might have to guess them, which gives her a 50-50 chance.
This is devastating for Everett if he loses by 0.35.
Absolutely. To lose so narrowly would be horrible.
He was in the league with 3-0, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
So that, yeah.
This is.
And the same thing last year Johannes Malo did.
I think he was 3-1 actually, because it was 1-1, then 2-1, 3-1.
Ooh, and look
Can
at
she
that.
get these last two?
Oh,
no, she has got them the wrong way round.
She switched them, like exactly what I said. Those last remaining 2 cards.
But can Everett get all of his right? He's left a couple of gaps, so he's going to have to be guessing those ones.
This
Hoping
is,
it works out
this
at
is
the end.
incredibly exciting right now. Here is Katna writing us again. Let's see what he is saying about his student. Yeah, I mean, he's very sorry that he cannot be with us here. I think he has some political thing going on.
50-43, 2 minutes left.
Oh my god.
She just looked at the camera.
Oh mein Gott.
The entire Mongolian team is right now going crazy when they look at this.
And we have to watch out for their eyes if they look at other people.
Yeah, her coach from Mongolia is like jumping up and down right now, really hoping that Everett will not be able to do this. Of course, we cross our fingers for both of them, but this is looking good for Cici right now. Although she did these 2 mistakes, we don't know if Everett can bring back those remaining cards. How many are left there? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
8
cards. 8 cards.
8, yeah.
I think it's 6.
It's 52 minus 44, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
8.
right. The numbers are clearly speaking for you.
We've got the accountant here.
Well, who I feel sorry for, the Mongolian
And
friends.
there's a mistake for Everett. If he will
Oh
not,
dear, no,
and
he's,
more mistakes,
he's just
more
guessing,
mistakes coming
he's
in.
just guessing
This-
at these last gaps. He's not going to get up to 50, so even if Cici doesn't correct that
Oh, what is
ending.
going on with Cici? Look at her. She puts her hands on her face. Something is going on. She seems to feel
Maybe she's getting some
something
superpowers
is
right now.
off. Maybe she even corrects
Well,
herself. with
I've
those
done
two
this so many times. We know that she's guessing these last 2 that she's just put in a short-term memory. She will be thinking to herself, what I've thought to myself many times, is that right? Should it be the other way round? You wonder.
Oh, Everett just gave
But
up.
Everett, yeah, no.
That's it.
That's it.
It's
Wow.
gonna
be a
doesn't
win.
look like
Oh
he
my
will
God.
be able to correct that anymore.
It's Marlowe versus
15 more
Cici.
seconds.
46, 50-46. Just switch it up.
She can't look.
No.
Oh, she cannot look. Look at her. How cute is that? She cannot see what's going on. She's just guessing. It's over. Cici is in the quarterfinals. Congratulations to her.
Wow,
She really outsmarted Everett. there
And look at this.
Go Team
It's
Mongolia.
a
Everett,
Mongolia
he did
hug
so
right
good.
now.
He did so good.
I tell you what, those Mongolians in the audience were so good because you can't show the competitor that you know they've made a mistake. They kept a perfect poker face, which is so hard to do
That
in
is
these
amazing.
circumstances.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly that you mentioned that because of course everyone could suspect that when you come in a big
Look at
team
that
that they
smile.
help each other, but they're not. They're so fair. Oh my God, this is exciting. She must be on the moon right
Look at her.
now. Look at her. She
So
is
wonderful.
She is glowing.
Look at that. She's pointing.
Hey, look at that. It's really, really cool.
Wait,
I'm
let's
so
wait for
happy
announcements.
her. Poor
Florian.
Everett, though. He did so great. The youngest competitor of the entire field. And both of them were the youngest. How old is Cici? Do we know that?
Cici
I think we've been cut off.
30 seconds to a surprise event, about 20 seconds to a surprise event.
She's the youngest female in the competition.
Yeah, her coach from Mongolia is sending his happiness and regards, and he's probably going crazy right now seeing this.
Can you say his name?
That was
Whose
exciting.
name, sorry?
The Mongolian coach's name?
Katna.
Well, his entire name is a little bit difficult. It's Katan Bata.
Kansurin.
But Kansurin, exactly. But we just call him Katna. It's much easier. And yeah, like I said before, he did this incredible thing. In 2009, he went to the World Memory Championship and he just decided, hey, why don't we have this sport in Mongolia? And he brought the traditional memory championships to Mongolia. He brought the Memoria to Mongolia. He brought speed stacking to Mongolia. He brought Rubik's Cubing to Mongolia.
is that him?
And created the greatest school in the world. And there was Ron White, ladies and
I was going
gentlemen.
to say that's Ronnie White, isn't it?
That was
Yeah.
Ron White. I think he's 2 times US memory champion.
Did he win it twice? I
And
thought
one
it
of
was only
the
once.
greatest memory coaches in the world.
Who's here?
Ronnie White.
I want to go in the other room right now and shake some hands. It was just too exciting, and I want to also hear what's going on with the surprise event.
You go.
Talk to you guys in a second.
You go, girl.
Okay.
He's so excited. Wow. So
Right.
when do you start? You start in, let's see. What's your next event?
We got the other half of
The other half to go.
round
So
of
you
16
start
now.
at 11 p.m. Not 11 p.m. It says 11 p.m. 11 a.m.
Yeah, it might be a bit late by the time they do the next round.
Yeah.
So.
Memory
So you've got time to
So
relax.
yeah, no, I can't relax. I need to go and look at all of her previous results and like figure out my strategy.
Which ones you like? Yeah.
So, because I know nothing about her.
Tell
really.
Clay
I
to
need
help you too.
Yeah, I'll go out there and discuss it with him and
Yeah.
try to come up with a strategy.
Yes.
But she looks pretty good, so we'll see.
Best
So,
of luck.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Way to
Thank
go,
you.
Marlo.
Here we go. So now we've got announcements. We've got hugs. There's Florian in there. Wow.
It's so exciting, these competitions.
It is.
We all get wrapped up in the thrill of the moment. The great thing about memory competitions is it's always so friendly, you know.
Yeah.
People don't have hated rivals. We have good friends who they enjoy competing against.
I hope it doesn't change like that.
I can't imagine how it would.
I hope it does. Like, people don't get like robotic and. Where do you see the XMT in 5 years?
I hope that we'll be seeing the XMT, little regional XMTs all over the world. You know,
Yeah.
one in Britain, one in Germany,
Yeah.
one in Mongolia. All of the top memory countries, all filtering into a big woohoo event like this. Maybe.
Because this
Yeah.
is something you can watch on TV because it's quick.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe we could expand the number of competitors. Maybe 24 is enough because the first day does drag on a bit with everybody having to play everybody else 5 times.
8 a.m. till 5:30.
Yeah. Could maybe spread it over 2 days or something like that. But I think it's good with 24 competitors. They've got the right number. I think we're probably not. We've probably cut back over to them.
You and I are just talking.
I just like to talk anyway. I
Yeah,
don't
me
care.
too.
I don't care if nobody's listening
Yeah,
to me, you know.
exactly.
I'd sit and talk to myself.
No,
if nobody else
you're
was there.
relaxing.
Okay, so in about 20 seconds, we're going to go into that, and the broadcast will be there, so we'll be away from here.
Okay. So we're here.
We're still live.
Oh, we're still live.
We're still
Wow.
live, yeah.
Talking in the audience, please.
CB is Boris.
CC, guys, stop talking. No talking. Silence.
Table 3, CA is Johannes against Yenja CB. And table 4, CA is Marwin versus Christian CB.
Sorry about that.
Florian, Everett, could you take it outside, please?
Okay, so, yeah, Brad, can we hand out the?
Yeah.
So please, we're going to hand out the rules for this first surprise event. What's up, Christian? I'll explain. Yeah. Please don't turn them over until I tell you to. So for people just entering the room, the way this works, this is still the round of 16. This is the second set. It was the bottom of the bracket that you saw before. They're fighting to get into the quarterfinals. It's a best of 7 matches at each table, so they can play a maximum of 7 matches. It's the first of 4 points. The first point will be decided by what I'm about to announce, the surprise event, which is a previously unknown memory task that they will have to perform. Okay, so this next explanation for this surprise event will come in 3 parts. And after each part, I just want to make sure that everybody understands what I've said. There may be questions as these parts come, but everything will be revealed. But feel free to ask questions. We won't move on until everybody's comfortable. So this is a new kind of surprise event. You can turn your sheets over, actually. This is a new kind of surprise event where your recall time will be timed. Boris, did you hear that? Your recall time will be timed.
Put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
These are the first set of rules. You can turn your recall sheet, or you can turn your instruction sheet over.
So the max time allowed will be 5 minutes. This event is 5 minutes. You can stop your recall timer by clicking the finish button before the 5 minutes are up if you choose. The person who recalls the most items, I'll reveal what those items are, wins. If both competitors recall the same number of items, then the person with the fastest recall time wins. The scoring is 1 point for a correctly placed item, no penalty for a mistake. So it's very similar to how it works with the normal events, except there's only recall, and the recall time is the tiebreaker, right? And everything you get correct as you place it is worth 1 point. Does everyone understand that? I need a yes from everyone. Yes?
What do you mean there's no recall? You mean there's no memorization?
Right. I'll explain what you'll be recalling, but you won't have to memorize anything. Okay? Okay, so yesterday everyone memorized cards, images, words, names, and numbers in several matches. Right? You each had...
Sorry, we need to slow down for these guys. I don't really want them translating if at all possible.
Okay, yeah, so if from the Mongolian team, if you have questions, we'll go slowly to make sure you understand. Do you understand so far? Senge? Okay. Well, I guess, can you tell him?
Can you say the question? You have a question to him and he'll tell me? Question?
All right, well, let me maybe get further, and then I can, as I reveal stuff, you can tell him. So, as I said, we memorized 5 different types of things yesterday. We had 3 matches in each of those events, okay? Your task will be to recall something you memorized yesterday. It will be one of these 5 categories. So no memorization. You've already memorized it from yesterday. It's only going to be the recall of one of those events. After I announce what it is, and we won't do that just yet, there'll be a 10-second countdown on your screen, and then it'll go straight into the recall for that event. Does everyone get that? Yep.
If you misremembered something, am I supposed to put in what I misremembered, or?
Putting the original.
I'm supposed
What
to
you
put in
were
what I
supposed
put
to
in
memorize.
originally, not what it actually was.
Not what you recall.
No, right, the correct thing. So hopefully you got it all right, and if you didn't, hopefully you saw the mistakes and you made a note of it.
We've worked out a way that I'm very confident that they're not going to give anything away.
Okay.
And it translates.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So go ahead. Don't say that.
So
Don't recall your mistakes.
Up to 5 minutes for recall. No memorization. No memorization. You'll understand when you see the screen.
Okay, so I'd like everybody to press ready, because as soon as I give more information, I'll give you a warning, don't worry. We're gonna go straight into it. It's one of these things where we want you to recall it on the spot, not have time to really think about it. The time to think about it is that recall time, that's why it's time.
Hold on, let me have them translate. Can you translate that? Time to think about it is during the recall. That's what you don't know what it is yet. The most items in the least time.
Okay, so if you could press ready. Okay, so you will be remembering, so there was the first one of the day, you had a second match and a third match, right? Let's say it was one of the 5. I'll tell you which 5 it is, what one of the 5 it is before we do it, but just to let you know, it's the last one. So think of all your 5 different events, right? Cards, names, numbers, words, images. The third match you had where you memorized them. That's what you will be recalling, one of those. Is that clear?
The third match of one of the 5 minutes.
So the last match that we had
Last
It's not your last match of the day, it's the last one of whatever I tell you. Got it?
Yeah. For me, there was in one of the disciplines the order changed. Does it affect it?
Well, no, because the ones you did were all, just think of the last ones you did.
Yes, but I did my last cards before lunch, and then did repeated cards, which were the first match in after.
But the one you redid was your first cards, wasn't it?
I redid my
And,
first
the,
cards,
and you
but
redid the
then
first and
my
second
last
cards. You did your redid the first and second cards, right?
First and second we redid after I did the third.
So he did his third match, and then after lunch, we did matches 1 and 2.
It'll be the last match you had during the day, whether that was supposed to be the
I can't
first
hear
or
you,
the
sorry.
second.
I didn't
Sorry.
hear you.
It'll be the last match you actually had in that event during the day.
Last I actually had.
The last you actually had, regardless of whether that was supposed to be the first or second or third.
Is that clear? Yeah. Okay, so if that's clear, we're going to start. I'm going to say what it is, which event, one of the 5.
Hold on.
Let me put it in.
Do you understand so far?
Just trying to make this very clear so nobody has a hiccup. So what, I'll announce what it is. So I'll say one of those 5 words: cards, names, words, images, numbers. And then we'll go. It'll be a 10-second countdown, and you'll see the recall screen. It'll be clear what it is anyways, because the recall screens are all kind of independent, right? They're all unique. Is everybody ready? So the event that you'll be recalling is the last match of numbers.
Like he's still talking.
And we are back. We're still in round of 16. We just saw some people move on to the next round. It was a huge upset by Cece. She beat Everett. She came back from down 3-0.
It was certainly the most surprising moment of the morning. Everett was doing incredibly. He was in the lead. Was it 3-1 or something
No,
like that?
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Cece just won one after another, and she bet him 4-3.
Yeah.
And went into the quarterfinals against Marlowe Knight. And now we are in the second part of the first round of 16. We have the remaining 8 competitors now.
I would really look at table 3.
With their surprise event.
Yeah.
This is the one that we had already had in the morning. These guys didn't hear what was going on in the morning. They were being separated in a different room. So they just heard the rules. They need to remember something from yesterday. And look at this, Alex. Oh my God, he really remembers nearly everything from yesterday. So far,
Check
this is the
out
best.
Yanja,
Yanja
table
as
3.
well, 78. Oh, she just corrected
dear.
something there. But nevertheless, I mean, these are amazing results. Johannes is completely lost there at the moment. He has one correct digit.
Hannes, I think he must be recalling a different numbers.
Marvin is doing a really good job. He has no mistakes so far. Christian weaved in a couple of mistakes, but also remembered most of it yet. Purafia versus Boris. Boris is doing pretty good, but has a lot of gaps there, while Purafia did perfectly up until nearly the last row, and now he has a lot of mistakes, but still gives him a huge advantage over Boris. Senge got about half of his digits there, 44 out of 80. They still have a lot of time. Alex just put in one single mistake there, but it's a brilliant result from him. That's the best result we have seen so far in this. I think in the round before it was Katie.
Yeah.
Who had the best result?
Alex is still thinking about that last one. He's
Yeah,
got his
she was in the
cursor on it.
60s.
Right. He knows that this seems to be incorrect, so
Alex and
very
Jaja.
impressive from Alex. He has such a good memory. Same Yanja, she's at the right spot. She also knows something is off there. Right. Well, this is really.
This is such a difficult thing to do because we're very much geared in these memory competitions to remembering something, recalling it straight away, and then blanking our brains out again in preparation for the next event.
Exactly.
Look at Alex. He just corrected one. He's now at 78.
I mean, honestly, just the mere fact to remember which journey you used there yesterday, because they had so many events that just this one fact alone already makes it very difficult.
I was sitting there in the audience doing it for myself at the start.
But look at this, Johannes is now getting it. He's getting back to it. Looks not really good, but it's getting better now. Sorry.
I was just saying, I couldn't remember when my last numbers one was. I had to run through the last couple of journeys I knew I did and see if I could come across any images that looked like they were probably numbers.
Right.
Work it out that way.
I find it very interesting to follow what's going on during the last 3 years with surprise events. So someone who wants to compete next year really should get systems ready that are able to memorize letters. For example, we had drivers, we had license plates. We had now this year the surprise event that we haven't really done yet. That's for the semi-final. No, for the finals.
For the finals.
It's 1,000 digits and letters, and they already have been handed out these sheets. And if you think you will make it to the finals, you better start memorizing that sooner or later. And other things, we had the textures last year, so you better get an idea at least of how you could do something like that. And now we're having the fact of remembering when you did what. So at least you should have something like a strategy for knowing exactly what kind of memory palace you use at what part of the competition. I'm not really suggesting to anyone that they should remember all of their things. That would be crazy, and probably this event will not come back anyway. Right? So, but nevertheless, people need to prepare themselves for all these eventualities in the surprise events, so that they have at least a strategy that might work out for that. If you don't have a strategy that allows you to memorize letters, you might really have a disadvantage.
Time is up.
Time's up.
We have Alex, 1. Purefji off by 1 digit. Whoa, over Boris.
78, that's brilliant. And Yeah, Porafiev versus Boris. That was a big disappointment for Boris. He probably wasn't too happy about that.
When Boris is not happy or Boris is happy, we know about it. We can hear it from here, and we're about 100 yards away.
Well, he still looks okay there when we look at him. Here he is. Of course, he's already picking his nose there a lot, but picking his nose is the wrong description.
That's right.
I think that's what he's doing. Yeah. I do it myself a lot, to be honest. So if we get these cameras on me, I don't think about it at the time.
And Marvin versus Christian. Marvin got 71 against 63, so Marvin got a point there.
Another close one.
Right. So that gives. So the winners can now choose.
The losers choose. The
losers choose the next event.
But this is incredible. We had 3 people that were in the 70s for the surprise event. Last time it was only 60.
Yeah. They were actually doing better than the first.
Alex
8.
Mullen is just unbelievable.
Alex is absolutely amazing. Yeah. He's come out of nowhere in the last few years. He's not just caught up with the people who've been doing it for years, he's surpassed them.
Although I don't like to say these kind of things, I think he really is a talented guy. Because I don't like to bring in talent in our sport, because everyone can do that.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen the end of it yet, but Alex seems to be one who is so effortlessly doing all of these things that you can probably really say that he's a talented memory athlete, while all the others are very hard-working memory athletes. He's probably also
Alex
very hard-working.
works very hard as well. Let's not take that away from him.
He's doing a regular training.
Yes.
Where many others have a season of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of hard training. He's just doing it every day throughout his entire memory career, and that's, I think, something that really is paying off. And I always suggest it also to my students: try to find a certain amount of time a day. It doesn't have to be too much. Alex did it in 30 minutes, but maybe even if you do 15 minutes, it can be already so beneficial if you do it every day.
Yeah.
But that's a hard thing to do, because we all have our routines, and to put something new into routine is tough.
So let's go back to the next events. So Senge just picked images, and now Boris picked images for table 2, and table 3, Johannes picked cards, and table 4, Christian picked words.
So this is interesting that Boris picked images, because he knows that Porafiev already did in training world record images. So that means that Boris is very confident about his own skill here as well.
Or perhaps he's just convinced that Porafiev is going to make a mistake and try for a fast time.
Exactly. So it might be a strategic thing that he did there, and he will just go for 60 seconds and hope that Porafiev is going too fast and puts in mistakes.
Surprised Boris.
And look at Porafiev, how fast he is flying through this.
I'm surprised Boris picked images. I would have expected him to go for names or words.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching the XMT, one of my favorite times of the year.
Maybe it's also putting Porafiev in a difficult spot in order what to pick next, right?
Yeah.
Here we go, Alex. Looks like Senge is going at a faster pace.
And Boris and Porafiev. Oh,
wow.
Boris did in 20.89 and Porafiev.
But Senge did in 20.4.
And now it's going slowly and takes the entire time. So Boris is in the lead.
Now that's
really
interesting. Yenja has done cards in 28.66 seconds. I don't believe she's ever done sub 30 seconds in competition before.
Wow.
So she's really pulled out it would be, I think, a personal best for her if she gets that right, which is a good time to do it.
Yeah. It looks like Marwin and Christian are taking their time.
It's words, so we'd expect both of those, I think, to use the full 60 seconds.
But they're going to do it in 58 seconds.
Or in 55 seconds.
Let's see. Oh. Both of them did in 60 seconds.
Right, that's interesting. I really don't understand why they do that.
Well, sometimes you don't want to... It's not just a matter of saving half a second. It's thinking to yourself, oh, I should stop the clock now. We're getting up to 60 seconds. It cuts 3 or 4 seconds off the time, and you want to use the whole thing. I myself normally wait for the whole 60 seconds.
But don't you agree that it's smarter to go...
No, I don't. I agree. I would agree if it was a case of saving 0.01 seconds, as Hannes has somehow done in the cards here, 59.99.
Right.
But if it's really, you have to stop memorising. Think. You have to keep an eye on the clock. You have to think, I'll stop it just before the end so as to gain an advantage in the case of a tie. It takes more time, I think, than it's worth, so I don't hold with doing that myself.
Really? I mean...
It's a matter of opinion, of course.
You are... way better memorizer than I am, but I tend to disagree with that because
I think it would work.
when you already have the 60 seconds, then you memorize it probably in, let's say, 30 seconds if you take it slow, and then you repeat and you repeat. And while you do that, you can have an eye on the clock and stop a little bit earlier without having a huge disadvantage of.
Well, I think different things
reviewing.
work for different people. It's positive
That's
thinking
true.
that counts for most in these memory
Yeah,
competitions.
absolutely.
If you think it's an advantage, it will be an advantage to you. If I think it's not an advantage, it won't be an advantage to me.
True.
Look,
Yeah.
It's
look
all
at,
in the mind.
look at Alex. He already finished. But
Alex, he obviously took the full 60 seconds for images, which is 3 times as long as he needs. But
Yeah.
So he can be confident and get it right without having to think. Pavel Senge has all the pressure on him, and he's spending a lot of time thinking there.
Yeah, that doesn't really is a good sign, especially in the images discipline, where things either come effortless or you have a problem.
Exactly.
and now Alex is just going through his head, through his memory palace.
Can you flick over to the cards? I'm curious about how Yenjar's doing. That
Yeah.
fast time, it intrigues me.
So
Yep.
she
Let's go to table 3.
doesn't look too bad, but she has already 4 mistakes and then a lot of omissions. So I think it will be tough for her to get that back, but you never know. Johannes looks super confident. His last cards are going into the right slot right now. He's done.
I like this, whoever that is, his rat tail.
Right.
I don't know if it's a deliberate one or an accidental.
Right? There it is, right there.
Now come along, we're not going to start criticising people's hair.
No,
I know,
no,
you know.
no. We're
Everyone
not.
would make fun of Florian for going bald.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
thanks.
But he's got a beautiful head.
Thanks for mentioning that. I'm coming to where you are now.
Do you know Larry David?
Have you spotted my little eyes that I have here on the back?
There's nothing wrong with losing your hair.
That's true.
No.
It just shows you've got a big brain, that's what I like to
Exactly.
say.
I actually wanted to get a really nice haircut and shave everything off because I have a good head for
You
a
should go with the
bald
Bruce
head,
Willis.
But I did San Diego. If you want to go anywhere, you need a car and drive for hours in all directions, and I didn't really have the time for doing that. So, anyhow,
Yeah, Yenjar's not there, I'm afraid.
But-
She's not going to get close to getting
No,
to
she
right.
is not.
well, she might
It's not like she's
move
won,
everything to the
It's
left.
not like she's won
and-
out, there's other mistakes
No,
in
it's-
there.
Now let's switch to
at
table
the,
2, guys.
The cards are correct, but
Okay,
they're
table
inversed by
2.
2.
Table 2.
Oh, Boris has got 2
Here we
images
go.
mixed up.
We have 40 seconds left.
Oh, poor Boris! Look at that. He just mixed up these 2.
He might
images.
switch it.
I think we need the camera on Boris's
might-
reaction, whether
Yeah,
he gets it
certainly.
right or not.
Let's
'cause it will be
stay
a
on
big
Boris
one.
here. Let's stay on Boris with that.
Let's hear the gnat sound
He
of
will-
Boris.
He will go crazy. Actually, I would like to switch off our sound here and pull up the audio so that we can hear what's going on. But, I mean, on the other hand, when we see what's going on, we can imagine what came out there.
Boris, all you have to do is switch
Ooh,
it.
look at this. Boris
He's biting
is
his nails.
chewing on his finger. He doesn't know. Come on, Boris. You can do that.
Is that Marion
Trust
back
your
right now?
instinct, but
Yeah,
he
that's
doesn't-
Mary.
He
What's she
doesn't
doing?
look like he's going to
I think
change.
she's
5 more
asleep.
seconds. 4, 3.
Oh, she woke up now as we said that.
Hold it.
Oh, no, Boris.
With perfect 30 over Boris is 28.
Well, it wasn't one of his famous reactions, but he certainly wasn't very happy about that. What does it look like now? He is now in 2-0 behind. All right. 2-0.
Boris is an incredible human being. He works at the
Yeah,
Max
Boris
Planck
2 down.
Institution.
Alex is 2 up against Senge. The other 2 are tied.
And you know, Boris studied 2 subjects at the same time. I think he studied physics and psychology.
Wow.
And then when he finished with fantastic scores at the same time in the normal regular time, he made his PhD not in physics, not in psychology, but in neuroscience, bringing everything together there.
And now he's at Dart Neuroscience. It's
No.
perfect for him.
No, he's
No, I mean, we're here right now.
Right,
At
yeah,
Dart.
exactly.
Yeah, but he's working at the Max Planck.
Table 3, Ninja. Names at table 3. And Marwin at table 4. Numbers.
anyway. So the slight visualization is important, but not the full one. Can you tell us when we are back on?
I will, yes.
Oh, look, now you're in the lower third there.
I know, look at that. Ben P, the commentator.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All
And
right,
we're back.
We are back on the live feed here. I was just mentioning that Boris, he he did his thesis for his PhD study where he was trying to figure out how important the visualization skill is, and he assumed that it might be super important for a memorizer, and he figured out that it is actually the detail and the amount of visualization is not really beneficial at all, but you still need some visualization. So what I took out of that is that I advise all my students that they should create like the drawing of a 3-year-old in their mind, and that's it, that's enough. They don't need to figure out how the buttons and all the hair is arranged on their characters, because that would go too far and wouldn't help them, would just slow them down.
It's true, actually. When I'm memorising, the images in my head aren't very detailed at all. Sometimes they're just more of an idea than a picture themselves. There's nothing actual visual in my head at all.
Right.
Just so much the name of the person or the image. Let's see what matches we've got for this third round. We have 2 cards, a names and a numbers.
2 cards, names, and a number. Which table are we looking at now, Ben? What do you want to see?
Let's see. Yenjar will probably win the names. That's her speciality. Cards, Porofiev and Boris. That might be interesting.
I'm picking Boris for that one. And cards,
Alex,
Alex
you'd
again.
You'd have to count on Alex. I think he's not only super fast, but I think he'll thrive in the pressure of the situation
And
to
then-
do something amazing.
And Marwin, too, I'm picking for numbers.
I don't know. I can see Christian winning that one. It'll be an
It's a
interesting
close
competition
matchup.
anyway.
And here we go.
Yeah, they just started. Boris with his double card system.
Interesting. Perevjov is doing 1 card at a time.
Because Boris told me that he is actually preferring using a single card system for the short disciplines. So
Really?
maybe he just puts 2 images of his
Yeah.
single system together on one location. He's not using his double card system for this.
See, when I first created the 2-card system, I got much slower at speed cards than I was with the 1-card system, but I made the absolute decision straight away to drop the 1-card system and use the 2-card system
Right.
for everything, because I knew in the long run I would get better at it.
Wow, look how slow Alex is today with a 23.81.
Oh yeah, Alex is
Oh.
taking it easy today. He knows Sengay I don't think can do less than 30 seconds,
Yep.
so he'll have taken a breather just... I can't believe that 23.81 seconds is...
Slow.
It's a slow time, exactly. What was your best time you ever did?
The best time I think I ever did in competition was 24.97.
That was your old
And
record, wasn't it?
That was the world record at one point, yeah.
When did you do that?
I wish I remembered. You were filming it.
I-
You
I
were there
fe-
at the time.
I know. It's available on YouTube. You can
I
go
know.
on the Memory Sports
That's a great
YouTube
video
channel.
it is too. Congratulations on that. But
Yeah, it's
I can't remember what year it was. It must have been 2008 or 2009 maybe.
it's the most watched Memory
2008.
Sports video on YouTube. I think it really is.
Yeah, that's another thing I like to boast about. I was the first person ever to do a deck of cards in under 30 seconds in a competition.
Yeah.
That was the holy grail of memory for many years.
That was
The
at the German
Holy
Memory
Grail.
Championship 2009, wasn't it?
The first time I did it actually was the UK Championship 2007. The 24.97 was at that German
Right. Yeah,
championship.
that's what I was
I did a
referring to.
26.28, I think.
Wow, Marwin is really...
But now those scores look hopeless. Everybody does those.
Look at Marwin.
Without breaking a sweat.
Look how quickly he's putting things together.
Yep. Marvin has got his head together here. I honestly thought he would be making a mistake in that, so I'm sorry, Marvin. I'm just...
I never doubted.
Oh,
Marvin.
he made a mistake.
And he
Oh, no,
corrected
he
it
corrected
immediately.
it straight away. Just a typo.
Thank you, Marvin. You're really
And he's
working
done.
on making my predictions coming closer to reality. So,
Now it's... Oh, it's close
Alex,
between...
so this is a clear win for Marvin if he
That's
doesn't
an easy
change
win for
anything.
Marvin.
Alex won.
Alex has his complete pack in that slow
Janja
time of
looks
23.87.
like predicted, very confident in her name
Yeah.
score. Johannes
Hannes
probably
is-
already given up before
Uh-oh,
before that
Boris.
event.
Johannes is not so good at names. He's better than me, but everybody is. But he's not as good as
But
most of the
everyone
competitors
is.
here. Sad but true. I'm the worst in the world at names.
Not the world.
Oh yeah, the world.
Which by the way is
They were like
a
newborn
self-fulfilling
babies who can remember
prophecy, my
names better
friend.
than me. Absolutely, yes. As I was saying, it's all about positive thinking, but sadly the idea is in my head. Unless I get a serious blow to the head and forget that I'm bad at names, I'm always going to be bad at names.
Have you ever considered using a names database where you have pre-made images for the most common names? Because I do that with
I
my
have thought
students
of-
and it works so well.
I have thought about it, but the problem is I don't want to. This is it's this thing in my head. I don't do anything that isn't fun, and the idea of practicing names, because I have this preconceived idea that I'm bad at it, I just don't enjoy it all.
Well, let's get rid of that.
Exactly. Let's get rid of it because
Would you like a mint?
Because this is
Very much so. Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, me too, please.
But the experiment. I hate that. Never mind. I put it in my mouth. What was I saying before I had this horrible toothpastey taste in my mouth?
Names.
Names, yes.
You were ranting about names and how you will never get good at that.
I do that quite a lot. Shall we change the subject, actually, and talk about other people
All
instead
right.
of
Yeah,
me?
let's talk about this event right now because there's a minute left in the event, and Boris is still down. He has 36 correct cards, but he did in 29 seconds, and Prevjov is already done.
Yeah, Boris is struggling. He's not going to complete a pack.
Johannes is coming back, though. 21 to 26, and he did it under 60 seconds.
Yes, if...
He did the Florian method. That's not my method, Max.
I don't think Johannes can beat Yenjo at names. If he does, it would be a real shocker. Because he doesn't normally get above, say, low 20s, and she is normally somewhere close to 30.
We have a tweet from by Galma Prevjov. Good job, Cece. Here we go. 30 seconds left. Boris is still down. He has 39 correct cards. Alex is just waiting, contemplating.
So Alex looks like he's going to go 3-0 up.
Yeah, and so
Prevjov
does
as well.
Prevjov.
Oh dear, poor Boris.
This will be devastating for. There he is.
Oh no!
And now Boris is in this psychological mood where it really gets tough for him because one more game and he will be out.
Hydrate,
He knows
Boris.
that exactly. He needs 4 wins now to continue.
Let's get a big zoom in on
And
his
it's
face.
so difficult at this point. I mean, Cece did that in the morning, so it's not impossible to do that. But if you're already so agitated, it releases so many hormones in your brain.
Well, you
that-
see, the thing about Boris is he's always agitated. He is so madly passionate about this. It
That's
might be
true.
to an advantage for him.
And he's so experienced
Yes.
also. So that is a huge advantage for him. But nevertheless, it will be extremely difficult
But
to
look
pull
at
that
you-
off. He
look
needs to win everything now. 4 matches.
Florian, look at Johannes again. He's down. Down on the count. He lost.
Yes.
I think he would have expected to lose that one.
Although for Johannes it looks much better. He's just down 1 against 2 for Janja. He can easily pull that off. And
He can come back.
And last year he already did that.
Yeah, that's right. And names is the only one where Yenjav is unquestionably
Yeah.
better than him. At words, they're perhaps quite evenly matched. At the other things, I think Hannes has the advantage.
Yeah,
So
honestly,
he could
I
still come
still
through and win.
think he can easily pull that off if he can keeps it up psychologically. And it's always a huge thing if your head is playing with you. If you give up too early, then you have basically no chance.
So let's talk about Sengay and Alex. What can his strategy possibly be here? He gets the choice of the next event. What is he going to choose to try and
Well,
win, to try and stay in this?
That's a very good question. What can you do against a guy against Alex who's so good at all these events? He's a world memory champion. He just did 2 amazing world records yesterday.
But the great thing about that, what I learned, he's actually nervous, Alex. He doesn't look it, but he is.
What's up? I'm gonna squeeze
Here's our man Nelson.
Hi, here's Nelson.
Yeah.
Move on over.
Oh, let's go back to, I was looking at this.
What's up?
We're having a lot of fun here.
What do you guys think so far?
This is the founder, Nelson Dallas, 4-time U.S. memory champion, mountain climber.
You want to squeeze in, Lance? We can figure
Yeah,
it
Lance,
out.
come on in.
Yeah, come on in, Lance.
And here's Lance. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Sit down here. Take my
Yeah,
chair.
won't you have... Oh.
Hello, Lance.
Move over a little to your you're.
Well, now you're
Hang
hidden
on.
behind me. Come on, take the front.
Come on, you sit down. I've been
Yeah,
looking
sit
at
down.
that.
You go to the
Lance.
front, man. My
Why
friend.
would I be in front of Ben? Ben is a legend.
Man is 11. He can sit next to you.
The legend's been here for a while.
I can go to the back.
All right. You gotta see over my hair though.
So it's getting crowded, you know, on the live stream.
So, Lance, tell us, you were the champ yesterday. What happened today?
Yeah, a few things. Okay, so the first one, we had to recall something from yesterday, which is, by the way, a very interesting
Yeah.
good surprise event.
Yeah.
I really like
I
that,
know it would
even
have
though it
made
was
people
hard.
uncomfortable, and it's nothing we've ever
Everybody
done
was
before.
uncomfortable, yeah.
But I was surprised how well you did. And you had a lot. I think you were just off by one.
Yeah,
Well,
switched
yeah,
it,
for
I don't know
0,
what
2,
exactly-
1, I guess I typed 0, 1.
Yeah.
So then everything else.
But how
was
many
off.
do you think you would have gotten right?
More than him.
otherwise? Really? Okay.
Mhm.
What did you, I think you did like 60 or 70?
61, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then for the second one, it was just, I mean, everybody else thought it was clear, but it was something, the way you said, like, that like, okay, you're about to do one of the three from yesterday, of recalling from
Yeah.
yesterday. But I thought you meant one of the three things we were going to do right now.
Gotcha.
So after that first one, I thought there were still 2 to go. So I was, you asked me to pick, I said words, so I was sitting there in my palace thinking about the words from
words,
yesterday.
yeah.
And then a group of words come up, and I
Have
just
we got a technical problem there? Have
didn't
they
understand it.
cancelled
No, it wasn't technical.
No, I'm talking about what's happening now. They seem to have cancelled those matches that were about to start.
Did they show the items, or did they cancel it before?
I think they're still
No,
there.
they cancelled it before that.
Oh.
All right.
I think they were just about in the pre-memorisation period, but
Okay.
never mind. Sorry, carry on, Lance.
Yeah.
Okay. Third one, Marlo's good at cards. You've got to go. We're both good at cards. We both have to go
You went
fast.
for 23 seconds, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think you
And-
had to versus
yeah,
Marla, right?
yeah. So, and I swapped 2 images. It happens, but that was kind of sad.
See that right there, the Twitter? She said you broke world record.
What? Who?
Oh, it was
From
for
yesterday.
the greatest
Yeah. But
confusion.
still.
The greatest. All right, and then lastly, there was that, his Marlo's images one of his images didn't show up, so he was like, hey, there's an error, and then I did mine, and then y'all gave me the option, you can keep yours, and I did get them all right, but 23 is, I mean, I don't know, it's not excellent. So I asked, y'all said, well, you want to keep that score or do it over again?
Sure.
I asked, well, can I look at his scores from yesterday so I can see it? Everybody seemed to think that was really unfair. I really don't, but
That's a good point. I mean, we hadn't thought about that before.
But the thing is, no matter what, because of that kind of situation, he sort of is going to have a small advantage in the fact that I either have to do it again, even though I did it right, or
He knows what the
I have
score
to,
to beat.
or he knows that right the score to
And then he
beat.
could just
And
go for
so
it.
detecting that, he did a very good sportsman-like thing and tried to even the playing field by saying, I'll tell you what my scores were yesterday. He told me. I asked him what was his best in practice. He told me.
Yeah.
And it was right on the line. I could have kept it or okay. But then we went back, and what happened is, how would you describe a surprise event? As someone who doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a surprise. I mean,
How is it a surprise?
You guys know the rest of the tournament. You know what you're going to memorize. It's what you train, right?
Mhm,
So obviously you're comfortable. It's. I mean, it's still difficult, and you don't know who you're playing necessarily sometimes, and that can be difficult. But at least you know you're comfortable within your events. You know what you can do.
Right.
The surprise events is something that could be anything. Honestly, it really could be anything. So it really pushes a lot of these memory athletes to places that they don't normally get the chance to go,
Yeah.
and it tests their trained skills in other ways.
And even if it's like, it can even be a variation on the regular kinds of things we do, like the digits. one.
Exactly, yeah.
But it would be something we'd never done before.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Such as reshuffling the exact same 30 images and memorizing them again.
That would be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Ah, so
It'd
you're
be
saying
really
that-
confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I wish I would have known that. They would be the same images. Because it's like, well, you've done images, you practiced it like 1,000 times. Well, this is going to be unlike any of those.
That's true, yeah.
Mm.
Look at Johannes. He really looks confident here with this 36 seconds. He really wants that.
I doubt I could have gotten
He's down 1
4 to
point,
make
yeah.
up for that. Four,
That's okay.
I
No,
need
but that's
4 in
okay.
a
I
row.
mean,
but I wish
think
I
in
would
the,
have had
in the future we
better
have to
chance.
stress that if something is off, people have to raise their hands immediately, and then we redo it. But if you're
Or if
into
the
it,
discipline they're going to do is something they haven't done before, you got to make sure to tell them that also.
right? Yeah.
And Boris is going in the lead here. He needs every
Sad.
win now.
I'm pretty sad, Ben.
Than me, so what can I do except, work hard, get better.
True.
Who
True.
else goes for that?
Yesterday.
So here, Boris here is fighting for his life here. He's
Doing a
got
really good job.
Oh, Boris and Alex.
It's
Yep.
one of his
Oh,
specialties, the words. He was the world record holder in that discipline for a while.
That's right.
He still has several world records, which are kind of out of memory sports.
Senge, of course, also chose words, just as we were speculating what he could choose. He has to win something against Alex.
Yeah, but
Alex
look
is
at
so
this.
good at
Alex got
everything, and he's got 49.
He nearly got the full thing there.
Yesterday, after the Boris and I were in the same group, and then after the 12th match, I was 2 points ahead of him, and it was words and names versus Boris. Those are like the two things that when you're like working out your odds, you give those to Boris.
Look
Boris
at this
is
beautiful
probably
thing
going
that we
to
see
he's
there
at
off
world
our
records in
screens
those.
on the live stream right
Wow.
now. I think it's the first time I see that on our live streaming today. It's really, really nice to see all 4 tables, all 8 competitors at the same time. We have a similar possibility on the websites somehow. That was
We
at least
used
last
to,
year.
yeah, but I think
now we have this.
split it up this way.
Now it's also a nice way you can then choose just quickly back and forth. But here we can see all of them at the same time. 1 minute to go.
Is this an
needs to
option
win.
for,
He's close to it, but look at this. Purev
used to
has
be.
41.
This
Purev
is-
doing
this is
well there,
nice.
isn't he? If he can just fill a few of those gaps, he might even catch up.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he stopped the clock just slightly before Boris, so he needs just 4 more.
Johannes pretty much secured his point to draw even with Ianja.
Same with
Senge
Christian.
is short to being thrown out of the competition now. I think
Yes, I think Alex is just
that's pretty much it for
unstoppable.
him. Marvin and Christian are head to head with 30. If there's no chance for
Christian has
Marvin to
done a
get that
perfect
point
30 in a
anymore.
very good time.
So they've tied it up at the bottom there, table 3 and 4, now at 2-2.
Yeah, so Johannes versus Janja and Marvin versus Christian will be super hot rounds here, while Senge seems to drop out now, and Boris
Boris is
seems
staying
to
alive.
keep up the torch and
Yep.
continues to try to win every match now. And here he is. And
He's been very subdued in his celebrations
He
and
just-
disappointing
Yeah, there was
losses.
just one time yesterday when he kicked his chair across the
I
room
like
and ran
that.
around
I
screaming.
missed-
Did he?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Were you
posted that on
playing him?
Facebook.
I'm
It was pretty funny.
disappointed that I
He-
didn't see
he
that.
yelled a, explicit term.
It's funny because
It was hilarious.
Okay, so Senge is Senge out of the game now?
Senge is out.
Senge is out.
Okay, that's Alex now moving into the quarterfinals.
He'll play the winner of Boris versus Pujay. And now in the other 2 matches we have ties, so they'll have at least 4 more matches.
And we have
3 more matches. Sorry.
At least
Simon,
two.
Simon versus Katie. Isn't that another rematch from last year? In the,
That's right.
That is
I think
going to
so,
be
yeah.
so close because Katie is established as the world's best at names and words now, I think, and Simon does
She's
not like
so
that
amazing.
because he very much wants to be the world's best.
Yeah, and he was. He was
I think last year I posted something on my blog saying Katie is even better than.
Sorry, I'm
Thanks,
sorry, everybody.
I posted something on my blog saying Katie is even better than Simon. He came to me the next day and said, "What did you say this on your blog? This isn't true. I think I have just as much chance as Katie does."
right.
I've got some a great little audio clip here, a little 10-second clip. I hope it goes through to the microphone, but let's hope it does. So this is whenever they announced that I had just broken Boris's world record here, and you get to hear his reaction to that. Let's see here.
There was a small high pitch, right?
That was the F word there, actually.
I think we are allowed to say that. Yeah? We are allowed to say that here.
Well, Max said
Well,
we were allowed to
yeah.
say anything, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if Boris really is winning this, we will hear some incredibly outburst. But if he's losing that as well, I mean, on the other hand, he's so far behind that I think if he's now losing, it's probably not really the super famous outburst that he will do that.
Right.
If he's getting closer to winning and then he's losing, we will hear more of him. So
Last year when he was beating Seaman, it was just amazing.
I have watched this movie over and over again on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think you had one and I had one of that. That's really good.
We had a close-up shot because we had some people filming when Simon first lost, and Simon and Boris like flew over there like screaming with excitement, and we just had a close-up shot of Simon's face. But I didn't use it in the video, but he's just like so embarrassed, annoyed, all these other things that he lost that match. He was upset. I'm gonna head back. You guys,
all right,
enjoy.
Thanks so much, Nelson.
I love these new guests we have, Lance.
It's good. We've totally kicked the commentators out now.
Yeah,
haven't
we don't necessarily. We go in the other
Everybody
room
can see
now.
my light pants. Take a look. This is what I'm wearing today.
Well, you showing
This is a
off
Hugo
now,
Boss
Max.
jacket.
Is it? Let's say something else here. Radar.
And then right here.
All right. You put that
The
in.
Hugo. Yep. This is my brother created these shirts. He created
did
the
he?
logo
That's really
too,
cool.
yeah.
I really like
These
that
shirts
logo.
are fantastic.
Yeah, they're
I
so
love them.
soft,
Yeah, I
too.
love them.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
I guess, is that the logo they put on the metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. He's great, and this is part of Not a Billionaire production company, the logo. So yeah.
So let's have a look at the overview. Where are we at? Johannes Janja 2-2, Marvin Christian 2-2. So this is really exciting what's going on there. But also Purafia versus Boris at the moment is my favorite match because Boris has really the chance to do that, but he needs all his concentration and power, and he really must try to calm himself down because this is so counterproductive. If you are nervous and
hard.
stressed, exactly.
That's your
and you can really
bigger
see
enemy
that he
even
is-
than your opponent.
But
if you're too stressed, it's just almost impossible.
And look at Purafia. He is so relaxed and cool.
But Florian, look. So if he comes back and wins this, you know who he's facing? Alex. So he's gonna be exhausted if he makes this comeback.
Right. No, I mean, to be honest, I know Boris now for so long, and we are fellow Germans and friends, and we do the memory sports show together and everything, but I'm always for the underdog, and that means that I really think that Purafiev can pull this off. He can pull this off easily. He's in the lead. He's cool. He's relaxed.
I'm picking Boris. He's got the comeback.
He's
been here for years.
He can do it. I really don't want to pick sides here, but I think that Purafiev really has the upper hand at the moment.
He's chosen numbers for this event, and I really think he might end up beating Boris on this. He might be trying for a fast time here.
Right.
Yeah, and I love these other matches too. Both tied up 2-2. That's incredible. Yeah, Christian came back.
Look at this. I found it very interesting.
Yeah, he
how
doesn't like them split up.
Boris splits the 6 digits, and Purafiev puts them together. So they have basically kind of the same technique, but they look at these digits slightly different. I find it easier to do it like Boris, where you have this little gap in between to separate them. I find it harder to see that when the 6 digits are directly next to each other.
What does the legend think?
Actually, I heard he has a million object system.
A million.
No, but I think Purafiev has a PAO system, so technically he has a 2-2-2 system there.
I'm surprised he doesn't split it into 2-2-2 though. Personally, I like to just have 3 on a screen at a time. It's different strokes for different
And
folks.
Johannes did the images in 17.49 seconds. As
look
far
at
as I
that.
know, this is an incredibly fast time.
But it's not the record.
It's not the
Okay.
record, but for him, it's pretty much as fast as I have seen him going so far. I haven't really seen him
That is
doing
his
much
fastest.
faster. Or you guys want to correct me there?
No, it's his fastest.
Yeah.
It's fast. It's pretty fast for a day
Fast for
2
an
kind
hour,
of
fast
thing.
for-
Yeah, exactly.
Is that-
Why do we see so many fast times today on day 2. Katie even broke her world record in words. Last year we didn't have that.
Katie-
People were taking it much more secure on day 2.
Is that weird for Perevjov to start from the beginning? Because I see everyone else starting from the bottom.
Well, most people like to just look at the last couple of images and keep them in short-term
Look at
memory.
Perevjov typing in all these digits. He has 3 rows out of 4, and he's typing faster, faster, faster. Everything is
Look
correct.
at this.
Oh, the first. No, he corrected
No,
it. He corrected it, and just
Oh, okay.
corrected it, and he's done. That's it.
Wow.
Boris
It's
is
nice.
out of the game.
I've never
He's
been
not
able
correcting it.
Oh my, we
to
can't.
type all my digits in under 40 seconds. So I've started working with the home keys, or the number row, but
People
not very
say I
good yet.
type fast. I use my
You're
own laptop.
really fast.
I use my own laptop, which
Yeah.
has a little numbers box. Because
Oh.
I'm an accountant. I spend a lot of my life typing in numbers with the right hand, just like that. So.
So Mongolia is just moving his second
Yes, indeed.
athlete into the final rounds there.
Wow, I
This
can't wait
is-
to see Boris's reaction to this.
This is the first
That's
time.
not very nice. But yeah, not nice.
Well, it's not nice, but I can't wait to see. It's
He's the bad boy of memory.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange because he's so calm and reserved most of the time. It's just when he sits down at memory competitions.
And he's a bloody PhD in neuroscience.
Oh,
Here
and
we
don't
go.
forget the Extreme Memory Challenge, folks.
ExtremeMemoryChallenge.com. Go to it. Remember, ExtremeMemoryChallenge.com. Only takes 5 to 10 minutes to take the test. We have 2 minutes left in the recall.
I'll check that
Perevjov is
out.
just. You're
Boris-
checking it out now?
Boris is still striving for his remaining digits, but whether he gets them or not, he will be out of the game as Perevjov not changing
It's not a
anything.
reminder.
And Pucci is already leaning back. He looks very, very confident. He retyped these digits incredibly fast.
Wait, look at
It took him
Johan.
about a minute.
Johannes.
Oh, Hannes has got
Yeah.
his images.
Hannes
Way to
got his
go.
images that puts him into a 3-2 lead in his on his table, isn't it?
And Marwin's at
Marvin
42.
is at
Marvin
the lead
and Christian are both
as well,
struggling.
but they're still recalling here, so nothing is really set in stone there yet.
Look at this. All these graphics. Great job. Great job, Nick.
Yeah, I really like this view where you see all these tables now on the live stream.
If you could show
at
our
the same
faces
time.
too.
Yeah, actually, we can show our faces too. Exactly, there's room on the top.
Every
left
time
there.
we get to see Florian on camera, it's just a joy.
Oh my.
Marvin's got the whole 52, so that will take him 3-2 up against Christian.
We have a little over a minute left in the recall.
Well,
Yep,
this,
yep, Marwin just won.
this is. We should see the camera on the top left with Boris. if
Yeah,
possible.
let's focus on
We
Boris
really
right
need to see
now.
Boris. We really
I
need
know
to
it's
see
mean,
Boris.
but let's see Boris.
It will throw him out of the competition, but kind of. we
Oh,
all have-
really?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
That's his last game. He will be out. Perevjov is
Unfortunately,
not moving.
Boris must already know that he's lost because he's only filled in 74 numbers.
It's
He
a horrible
must know there's a
feeling,
pretty
but-
good chance that Puget has got it already, so perhaps he won't react quite as extremely as if
Yeah, this
Well,
is.
he thought there was still a chance.
I much prefer having missing 6 numbers than missing 3.
But you know what?
I
Boris
think much
goes.
more fun.
Boris goes
Boris-
home with
Boris still has gaps. The
$1,500.
thing is, since he still has gaps, he kind of anticipates that he's going to lose this one, and it would be better if he has all. Then he could calculate
this is
himself a
great.
chance there, and the outburst would be even stronger.
20 seconds
why
left.
Why do we count on this outburst? Kind of mean there.
Well, that's what I said.
Boris-
But it's good spectator
experience.
sport.
Yeah.
Yep, he knows it.
Yeah,
It's
he
over.
knows
It's just
Exactly.
resignation from Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already
Poor guy.
giving up there. Exactly.
He's
But
not.
he did
He's
it-
not going to be shocked about it. That's
No,
the thing.
exactly. He's not shocked.
Here we go.
He accepts it.
It's complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well done,
Well
Boris. Well done.
Oh, no, come on, Boris.
Give us a show.
What is this?
But well done,
Sportsmanship.
Perevjov. Well done, team.
We're gonna bring
Mongolia.
Boris in here.
This
We have
is
to.
amazing.
Do you want me to go grab it?
Yes, that'd be awesome.
grab it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Pucci,
give him
I
a
mean,
minute.
honestly, Pucci is
Yeah,
doing
give him
such
a
a great job. He won
That's a
all
little
these
mean.
junior championships. He won
Hey,
one
Vessel.
thing after another. And now he really proves himself being one of the very best in the world. This is
But
amazing.
you know what? He's going up against Alex Mullen, the defending champion, so.
Alex seems
The world-
unstoppable
the
at the
world
moment.
champion.
He's just brushed aside Sengay, who is perhaps the top Mongolian. He's sort of, if anything, the leader of
Yeah.
the Mongolian team here. So,
Although
for Puget to now go
honestly,
The leader
against-
of
what
the
I
Mongolians.
see in the skill of Perevjov, I think he is he already said he is already on par with Cengiz Sandman. He wasn't just as lucky in the championships before, and I think he has trained super hard for this. He looks so confident, and he is now in the quarterfinals, and Cengiz is not. I think we will see more of him in the future.
Yeah, well, Puja, of course, he just narrowly missed out on qualification for the XMT last year. I think he was number 17 out of the 16 qualifiers, so he didn't quite make it. So I think that's given him the extra impetus to get better and better and
Now,
really make a showing this time round.
With Johannes and Janja, who gets a pick the next round? Next event?
Now you're asking.
That's a good question. Johannes was
We have to remember
the,
who won the surprise task and who chose the...
Yeah, the surprise task
I think
went
Janja
to...
was winning it, wasn't she?
Yeah.
The surprise one. Hey, there's Boris. Come on, Boris.
Comes Boris.
Well,
Have my
that
seat,
was a
I've been
tough
sitting
one.
down for a while
come
there.
on, please.
Thank you.
We were already speculating whether you were shouting or not, but then we are anticipating that you will not because you were seeing that you had some gaps there, and
Was it a surprise?
you could do the math yourself.
To you, did you know this was going to be a big fight between
I
both
knew
of
it was
you?
going to be a big fight. The surprise task surprised me. Like in the past, I've always been really good with these, but yeah. And then I got just not the luck I got last year. Last year I got lucky a lot of times and advanced to the final, and now it was 1 digit off, like in the test. Like if I guessed 1 digit better or remembered 1 image more, I would have gotten that point. And then again, similar in the images, I felt really good. 20 seconds is normally a time I can do well in, but then suddenly there was those airplanes and the beach, and so the airplanes are over the beach, but I didn't know the order of the 2 images anymore. And then I put them correct first, but then it felt really wrong. I said, no, there must be the beach first because the
This is a
beach
nice
over.
match here. Do we have this up here? This is
Yeah,
good.
yep, between Janja and Johannes. It's a
Yeah.
cards event. Looks like they're similar speed. Janja's a little bit faster. And she is... oh no, she's
Repeat.
going through it again. She's reviewing. She's going to probably take all 60 seconds.
What is...
Johannes did in 38.1 seconds. He has the advantage right now.
Yeah, and it's a very secure time for him as well. So he might.
And
really get
Marwan
that
and
point,
Christian
yeah.
are taking their time in words.
So this might be the last event for Johannes. How is the table with Marvin Christian? Marvin is in the lead,
Yep.
right?
No, it's
Yes. Yeah, he's the lead, 3-2.
So if Marvin is winning, he comes into the quarterfinals. If Johannes is winning, he
Here
comes
we
to
go.
the quarterfinals.
Recall starts in 3, 2, and
Ooh,
1.
but look at this table 4 with Marvin and Christian. Both of them have 60 seconds, so it's really all up to the amount of words that they get there.
Because I'm looking at both of my teammates here, hope they do better than I do and can stay in the game. Where it should be a little advantage for Christian.
You're voting for the Germans?
Of course. I was voting for myself mostly, but sadly that's over already.
Yeah, I will be kicked out of the German team because I didn't do any predictions in that direction.
Oh.
No, that's not how you can. Everyone should predict what they said.
You want to get out of here and get drunk?
And later today.
Maybe.
No, first I want to see what the others do. And
Okay.
yeah, I just got unlucky. Like Pujev did a really great job, so it will be exciting to see how Alex can deal with them because I think he's a strong competitor. He also had a good strategy, like let me go fast in the cards and didn't try to go even faster. And
Now, what do you guys make of wearing sunglasses and the headset? Like blocking everything out?
like visual for me, it disturbs me more than it helps, so I don't do that. I've tried it only a few times, but I use earplugs, so maybe you don't see them as much as the headphones, but they have the same effect. So they're nowadays really high quality earplugs, really cheap, which go in really well and really block out a lot of noise, and that helps concentration a lot.
And you don't use anything, not even
No, I do.
socks.
I
Well,
do
you
use.
socks.
I do use earplugs.
Mm.
And you know, I take off my shoes and sit Indian style on my chair. That's what I do whenever I'm doing the, like,
Yeah,
not
we
just
really liked
regular
that
practice,
yesterday.
but as if I'm at the XMT practice. And the reason that I agree with him totally about it's more distracting is because I don't wear goggles usually.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do that.
So you don't think it's
but-
cool to have all these gadgets
Well,
on
sure,
your
it's
body?
cool. It's super cool.
Looks good
I'm
in
just
Kenya.
not. I'm just not that cool.
Oh, look at this. What's going on there with Johannes and Janja? Both of them like completely screwing up their results.
I think it's just they just
probably
shifted.
moved
They're
them,
gonna
yeah.
shift
They
it,
probably
So
moved
Johannes has his tactic where he maybe doesn't know he's missing something there.
But
he will
Marwan's
figure
taking
out.
And
it
his
away.
cards are correct. If you look at this, he's just off by one location.
Exactly,
Yeah, he's gonna see that right now.
Yeah.
It looks like Marwan's going to the next round. We still have a minute 45.
But
And Janja's also just off by one card, so both of them might shift it in. There she is. She already shifted half of their incorrect cards.
and the way she has that king, it's an sometimes it's not. You have to click. It'd be nice if you could kind of like control click and then shift. So
And
you
he
don't
is.
have to.
Johannes
Wow.
did correct. Well done, Johannes.
He's
He
moving
goes
on
into
to the next round.
quarterfinals.
Christian's still typing. So
The defending champion is
The
still in
defending
it.
champion is still in, and the previous champion is also still in with Simon Reinhardt.
and the next champion is also still in. That's not new.
That's a good one, Boris.
A minute left in the
So
recall.
Marvin is in the lead with 33 words, which will put him into the quarterfinals if he can keep it up. But Christian
Oh,
is
he's
still
Christian's
recalling.
still going.
He's still going, yeah, and they're just very close to each other.
Christian just switched up a couple of names in 44 and 45. Here we go. It's
Maybe we
so
can,
close.
Maybe we can get the other camera on Marvin and
wow.
Christian as well. There on the top.
Look at this,
Right
Yeah, let's
corner.
go to table 4. Yeah, perfect.
We technically have 4 camera slots here.
No, it's
Oh,
Oops, tied up.
Oh, and here Christian gets into the lead.
but just by one word.
Just by one word.
that's all you need.
Marvin might
10 seconds. Here we go.
get that. Ooh, doesn't look good for Marvin.
Christian will be shocked that he didn't get more.
And that
He got one more. Though.
solidifies it. And here we go, Christian
Nice
goes
press. Nice
on
press.
par. That makes it
We're going to
3-3
game
in that
7.
game. Johannes is in the quarterfinals. That leaves us one table. Christian against Marvin. Whew. Both of them really
Sigh of relief.
must feel the pressure now.
What's the next event?
But they're the only ones in the room now still competing. It's like, oh my god, come on.
Let's see. Who chooses the next event? It is.
Can you see that there in the
So the
on the
surprise one.
matches?
Yeah, Marvin is choosing, so
Yep.
that's a big advantage.
And-
What's his advantage?
And
What
look
would he
at
like?
this how they're going back forth, back forth, back forth, back forth.
Oh, this is incredible.
It's numbers, I guess.
Your prediction could be wrong.
My prediction already. I mean,
Yep.
I put this guy number 2.
Look at all these guys here. All our competitors.
Yeah,
Incredible guys.
Thank you for that, by the way.
I'm sorry,
Watch
I
that.
wasn't. I already went in that direction. I didn't want to stop there and leave it the awkward elephant in the room. So
Remember
I-
that time
I
when
just, I just finished it.
two Germans, a guy from the U.S. and a British guy walked into a room? I have no idea where I'm going with that. Silence.
I didn't know you had that kind of joke. In Britain, we're saying an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman went into a bar. What do you say in America?
There are all kinds of rabbi, a priest, and a I don't know, witch doctor.
Where are you from?
All these guys, all these
Lance,
jokes are
where you
kind of
from?
racist, aren't they?
Oh yes, but yeah.
I say I'm from Austin, which is close to true.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Austin, Texas.
So what do we see here? Numbers. They picked numbers. Here we see Marvin, who has already had that huge shock last year at the World Memory Championship where he was in the lead for 9 disciplines, and then in the last moment, Alex.
Dr. Christian set him up last year.
There's
to
a lot of
compete
new
the
faces
same
today.
Round of 16 matches last
Oh,
year.
they were head-to-head against each other
And
as
Christian
well.
beat Marvin 4-3 and that one or 4-2.
So this one is...
When it comes down to something like this, it's who can cope with the pressure best.
Yeah,
I think Marvin has the best times on paper when it comes to numbers, but it's just who has their head in the right place.
I don't know. I like Christian style. Wow, look at all that. Marwan.
What's he doing?
9 digits?
Yeah, it's lagging a little bit, so we don't know.
Yeah, he does 3 per locus, just like Ben. That's what Alex and I did also for a long time, but both of us. He switched first, made a lot
Christian
of progress,
decided to review.
and said that he thinks that's why.
Christian didn't
I
want to
switched.
take the risk to push a button, so he's reviewing. Let's see if Marvin.
He's
already
probably
does.
sensible. He's relying on Marvin making a mistake.
Marvin has a fast time, but not like incredibly fast. I mean, probably can do faster than that. So I would
Fast enough to
probably say there was like
I
a
would bet on Marvin now.
secure time.
Yeah.
But he only saw them once. Like there's still like the risk when you only see them once that he saw something wrong or get a glitch there. Like
Yeah, exactly. So Christian will be very secure. It's likely that he will have everything correct there. So it's all eyes are on Marvin here. Interesting that Christian stopped the time there.
He just happened to get to the end there. I think you automatically press stop. I know I do anyway. I've done it.
I also did it like in the digits at the end against in the words against poor Jeff. It turned blue and then just he was quite fast with 54 seconds and I was in like 52nd second and turned blue and like yeah just go.
Nice close up shot of the hands.
Close up shot, exactly.
Yeah, see what they look at. Marlon is just.
Marvin doesn't seem to have any problem at all there, does he?
So
No,
far,
I say
he's
that,
taking.
stopped.
He's taking.
You
off
jinxed him, Ben.
the
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have the 10-second delay here between what happens on
But we saw
the
it- we saw
preview
some- yeah.
and on the live feed from the camera in the room. So
Christian's
is
done.
done. No mistakes there, so all eyes are on Marvin. Can he get it
He's
back?
been sitting on that number for a while.
His style of memorizing, which is by the way the same thing, the
he's-
same way you do
he
it,
found
right?
it.
3-digit system, 3 images on one location.
Yeah, he found it.
It's how do you think how difficult it is if you have a gap to retrieve that with such a big system and how so many images on one location?
It is a little. I think he's got it.
He got it.
By George, he
And,
has.
that's it.
Way to
Marvin,
go.
Wow, Marvin
is
was
in
on.
the finals, and my prediction still is alive.
Let's see if he decides to change something.
That would be-
It has happened before.
It has. It's happened to me.
Here.
I think we all have our story of when that's happened.
I
to
just
us.
had this match against poor Jeff in the images. I had it all correct and then I decided to switch.
It was so exciting earlier when I think it was Johannes Su against
KT.
Katie,
Yeah,
and,
there
and
last
they were
second.
on par and up down, both of them changing.
Also Jan Hendrik against Simon, if we saw it in the back. So there was some, I think Jan Hendrik and Simon were equal on names. And then first Simon deleted one,
Yes.
and then Simon put it back, and then Jan Hendrik deleted one. So it was, oh my god.
They're both just reviewing. There's
I
less
think
than
actually
2 minutes.
I meant that, Boris. I think I meant that that
I
match.
think they're both happy now. They've stopped. They're just waiting for the time to. And this is when the time really drags. We've got 1.5 minutes before you find out if you made a
This
mistake
is where we
or
talk.
not.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you, Boris. So what do you do at the Max Planck Institute?
I left there 2 years ago. I did my PhD there, and now I'm at the Donders Institute. It's in the Netherlands. I'm a postdoc. I do research on superior memory. So I actually studied a lot of the people competing here using different techniques, different tests, and see what's going on in their brains, and if their brains are normal, or if you need a specific brain. Hint, you don't. Their brains are quite normal. And all these things around that.
So it's really true that you don't need to be special to do this.
Correct. So if you look at the brain of a memory athlete and compare it to someone else, you don't see a difference if you just look at the brain structure. It gets a bit different in terms of connectivity. By doing all the trainings, we build up some pathways in the brain or build them out that are not built out for other people, like between the visual center, because of all the visual techniques we use, and the frontal brain where attention sits, for example. But in particular, the main difference is what parts of the brain are active when a memory athlete tries to remember. Because if someone who maybe doesn't know mnemonic techniques tries to remember these numbers, just very small networks will be active that are capable of storing numbers by itself. But in a memory athlete, the whole visual cortex, the whole visual memory system is engaged, and therefore they use a lot more of the different memory systems, and by that are able to do the performances you see here. But the good news is anyone can learn that, so it's actually true. Maybe not everyone can set a world record, of course not, but for example, to memorize 80 digits, maybe not in a minute like these guys, but in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I certainly can teach everyone. Like I do that, I'm also working as a memory trainer. I did it with a German TV host, a famous one, but let's look at
Yes,
the
let's,
reactions.
here we
And
go.
here we go. Marvin is in the quarterfinals.
No
He's so
reaction at
cool.
all. Way to go, man.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
No
Both of them were
reaction
like
from him.
Completely.
That's not me.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. And here comes Marvin's mom, and
No, it's
she's
nothing.
so happy.
Look at her, giving him a little kiss on the cheek.
Guys, I'll leave you for here. I need something to drink.
Yes,
I
yes.
see my friends, but maybe I can join you back later.
Yeah, that'd be great. Cool. We have many more questions about the brain.
I'm
And you are
gonna
the
go
guy to answer
congratulate the
Lance, you're not allowed to leave. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll be back.
Thank you, Lance.
To people too. So
All right, thank you
Yes.
very
much. I'll see you
Sure.
later.
So it's just us
Oh,
again.
Marwan's smiling. That's
So
incredible.
it's just us again.
Just
Look at
us.
that. The live stream commentating team is.
Can we get a shot
Down
of
to 2.
Nick, please? Our director and IT man? No.
There the camera is going around through the room where we have all our arbiters and camera guys.
Now look at the top right. Everyone go to extremememorychallenge.com. Once again, extremememorychallenge.com. 5 to 10 minute challenge just to test your brain and see where you are at. And we want 1 million challengers. So please take the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Well, we are one step further into the XMT now. The octafinals, the round of 16 is now over. We have Zetsaksul Zorik Bata from Mongolia competing against Marlo Knight. We have Simon Reinhardt from Germany against Katie Kermode from the UK. We have Alex Mullen from the United States competing against Parafiev Denis Saikan from Mongolia. And we have Johannes Marlo against Marvin Valonius from Sweden. So this makes 2 from Mongolia, 2 from the United Kingdom, we have 2 from Germany, we have 1 from the United States, and we have 1 from Sweden. That's pretty exciting. Do you know what's actually going on now in terms of schedule? Do we have a break here? Yes, we are now, what time is it actually? We have, well, 11:12 here local time in California. That puts us,
So we should be starting soon.
we should be starting, there's not a...
4 minutes?
Nah,
Okay.
so that's not really a big break here. We are basically needlessly continuing here. Well, that was an exciting morning, Max. What do you think?
I thought there was an upset. I was a little upset that Everett didn't finish it, but you know.
True, me
Yeah.
too. Although I really think that Zetsaksu did an extremely good job, and I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for the entire Mongolian team because they are so close. They work
And you can see
so
by
much
them
together.
messaging you and so
Exactly.
excited. But you know what? The biggest upset of the day was Marlo beating Lance, and it wasn't just by a little bit. He beat him 4-0. He
Right.
crushed him. So Marlo and Cece, that's the matchup I'm looking for in the next round. I mean, all of them are incredible. A lot of people picked Marwin to win it all, so you have Marwin versus the defending XMT champion, Alex, who's breaking
Right.
all these records. He's facing us off against Parevjov, and then Simon and Katie. Kidding
Again,
me?
both
This is
of
incredible.
especially since both of them are so similar in their specialties,
Yeah.
except for the cards and numbers, where I think Simon is slightly ahead of her, and he knows that. But Katie seems to be better in names and words than Simon is, although he was the world record holder of that for such a long time. But Katie was really killing it with her continuously breaking the world record in words. She did yesterday, I think for the first time, she was the one that did it in the 50 words all together, and then she didn't do that in 60 seconds, but she did that in 55, and she went down to 53,
Yep.
and today she was going down to 51.31 seconds.
Now, while you're talking, I'm going to do the Extreme Memory Challenge.
You want to do the Extreme
I'm
Memory
gonna
Challenge
do it
right now?
Right now.
All right. So, yeah, the camera is in the room, which seems to be empty there. All the athletes are trying to get some breath and gather their memory. In the meantime, let's see. Right. Well, when I look at the first round, CC against Marlo. Whew, that's a tough one. I mean, both of them, well, Marlow qualified on the bottom end there yesterday for the finals. So I can't really say who's in the lead there. I kind of think that Marlow might be a bit superior in terms of CC, but CC qualified so much better than he did. So I don't know. That would be a very interesting thing going on. Simon against Katie, crazy. I think Simon really has to be smart about this, because I see Katie has some advantages in terms of names and words. Alex versus Purefia. Interesting. Most people would say
It's your
Alex.
memory challenge.
Most people would say Alex clearly is the favorite out of that one, but I'm not so sure about that. Pooja is doing an incredibly good job, and I think he's certainly one of the best juniors I have ever seen, if not even the best junior I have ever seen in memory sports. In all the years that I'm doing this now, he is just killing it, and he wins against grown-ups. You're not listening to me. You're memorizing.
No, I am
it's
listening.
Okay. No, it's okay. Continue with the challenge.
This is extremely hard right now.
Yeah, do that. And then Johannes versus Marvin. Well, Johannes is one of my best friends. So it's so tough to say that for me, but honestly, I think it's good that we have all these new faces, and Marvin really wants that, and he probably really needs that to go on. So, and my prediction was actually on Marvin. So I just wanna shut up about this match.
My
now,
prediction's
really.
Marlow. I'm sorry. I think he's gonna go all the way. I think he's gonna upset
Marlow Knight for the win.
Yeah, he's gonna upset everyone.
Well, it would be a really cool thing to see.
It'd be a great thing.
Absolutely. I'm always for the underdog, like I said, and he was clearly the underdog because he was the last one to qualify yesterday, and now he was destroying Lance, and we will see what's going on.
No.
there. And he is very talented. He is super
Very
fast.
talented.
He is the UK champion. He can memorize cards in 20-something, 23 or something.
Nothing.
He did, right?
Nothing. 20-something
Which is
seconds.
super,
Come
which
on.
is super fast. It will be super tough for CC to do that. I don't know where he is with the images, words, and names actually, but he's
Now,
decently skilled there.
I do want to tell everyone, whoever's in this competition still wins money. 17th through 24th, they get $750. 9th through 16th place gets $1,500. 5 through 8 gets $2,500. 4th place gets $5,000. 3rd place gets $7,000. 2nd place gets 10 grand. And 1st place gets 15 grand. And now if you beat a record yesterday, you get $2,000. So Katie took home $4,000 because she just crushed a couple records. Lance had a record too, so he takes home $2,750. So we don't feel that bad for him.
No, obviously not.
Yeah,
he did a great job, and he also,
Yeah.
he proved the world what an amazing memorizer he is. He's so good. He's so fast.
Yeah,
and
he'll be back.
honestly, I think he is one of the hottest candidates to become the best in the world sooner than later.
Yeah.
He just need to work on really being concentrated and getting into this calm mood that many of the other athletes are showing. He really needs that. It was probably one of the things why he was losing today. The first round was so shocking to him, and then the second and everything, it was like overwhelming.
You know what? Not a lot of people talk about meditation. I thought that would be a big thing with memory athletes. Meditating and getting in the zone and really not thinking about other things.
I agree. For now, I think people are getting more and more into these kinds of things.
Yeah.
The same for healthy food. The same for doing physical sports to really keep your body fit and enough oxygen in your brain. Mens sana in corpore sanum. A healthy
Say
mind.
that again.
Mens sana in corpore sanum. You did 7 years of Latin, didn't you? I never did Latin.
You never did Latin?
No. A healthy mind lives in a healthy body.
Yep.
Right, the expression.
Yep.
And it's true. Because
It
the better you are at sport, maybe not the better, but you should have at least a decent amount of physical sports activities to have sufficient oxygen in your blood in order to keep up that high level of thinking.
Yep, there's a hashtag right up above my head. Hashtag XMT 2016.
Yeah, you
Now,
can use that for Twitter and for Facebook.
I have a prediction for a country that's going to be huge and incredible at the sport, India.
India has the biggest championship in the world.
Do they really?
They had, I think, I'm not actually sure if that's true because I never really checked that fact.
No.
But I heard this one year they had like 1,000 people registering for it, and it completely broke everything. We also have India applying now. I'm not talking stuff. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that, but India has applied for our new World Memory Championship.
They're going to be bringing meditation.
That we want to do. Dr. Kranti Raj, who is the team leader and coach of our fantastic Indian athletes. He is really looking forward to do that championship there, and I think it would be a wonderful place. What a marvelous country and history it has.
Yeah.
And the Indian athletes are getting super strong, and of course it will be the biggest country in the world sooner than later as well. Right now, China has more population than India, but India is kind of getting
So
there.
I have a question. So you physically don't need a big head to be good at this sport?
Look at the gender difference. We already talked about this.
Yes.
Males have
You're taking me seriously about it.
No, honestly, it's an interesting,
Yeah.
technically an interesting thing because males have a heavier brain or a bigger brain than females, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that they're smarter or whatever.
No.
We see Katie here really crushing one male after another, and yeah, so you don't have to have a cone head.
To go ahead. Remember, Extreme Memory Challenge. It took me 5 minutes. It's easy. I beat Nelson.
Did you get a result there?
No, I didn't take it yet.
You get it.
I was so distracted. You really need to focus.
Right, of course. And I was talking all the time, and you probably want to do that silently.
Yeah, silently.
And not
no.
being distracted there all the time.
But look at this. We have the Twitter feed up top. We have the hashtag.
Yeah.
We have that beautiful XMT logo.
This is wonderful.
Our names, even though you cut off my name, it's a beautiful last name, Berkowitz, Max B. And then right at the right corner, over here, extremememorychallenge.com.
Right. So we are now preparing for the next round, the quarterfinals. Surprise event will be the first one. We don't know what this is about. It's a surprise. We will hear very
For
soon.
the surprise event, you will
Let's
not
switch
need
to the
your
room.
own computer.
And let's
Just
hear
have it
Nancy.
ready for a little bit later. For the surprise event, you can just use the computer that's on the table. If yours is already hooked up, that's fine, but just use the computer on the table for now. If you sat down, please check with the cameraman or woman behind you and make sure your head is not going out to the world to be famous. Keep the papers face down for now.
So if everybody could turn around, we're going to start. I'm trying to make this year as easy and understandable as possible. So you have the rules down in front of you. I'm going to explain them. We have a little video that we're going to share. So through the different ways, hopefully it's just very clear what we're about to do. So if everybody will watch, I'm going to play a little video that describes what's happening, and you'll see how it will unfold. It's very short, and don't worry if there's questions. The most important part of this video is so that you can see. I'll explain the details again a few times.
Everybody here?
Surprise event 2 is called Cards and Images Combo. Competitor prep time is 2 minutes. Data, 30 cards and images. 15 cards, 15 images, shuffle. Memorization time, 1 minute. Recall time, 4 minutes. Scoring is +1 correct for every correctly placed item, no penalty for an incorrectly placed item. Winner goes to the competitor with the highest score. Time is the tiebreaker. Okay, so you can turn over your papers. We'll go over the rules in detail here. Okay, so as I said, there'll be a 2-minute prep time. So once I'm done discussing this and everybody agrees that we understand, you'll have 2 minutes to kind of figure out your strategy, how you want to approach this. Once the 2 minutes are done, we will start, right? So before we do the 2-minute prep time, I want to have us all click ready. So we'll say 2 minutes are up, and the 30-minute prep time will begin. 30 seconds, right, sorry. Wow. So yeah, once the 2 minutes are over, the 30-second pre-memorization countdown will begin on the software, leading straight into the standard cards images event that we just showed. Recall is the same as in the images event. So you'll have 30 images, which are a combination of pictures and cards. And there are 15 images, like pictures, and 15 cards shuffled together. And during recall, they will show at the bottom of the screen and must be dragged to the correct spot. We're all familiar with that. It is exactly like the images event, except 15 of the quote-unquote images are now random cards. Scoring is the same, +1 for every correctly placed item, no penalty for an incorrectly placed item, and winner goes to the competitor with the highest score, times the tiebreaker. So is everybody clear on that? I need a yes from everybody and say ready on their screen. So table 1, we're good. Table 2, Katie, you're good? Simon, you understand? Okay, table 3, Alex, you understand? Pooja, you understand? And Johannes? Marwin? Okay. So CC, if you could press ready. So you'll have 2 minutes now to think. We won't disturb you. We'll time that starting. And I will warn you when we have 10 seconds left in this, and then we'll start 30 seconds.
Now.
Now.